Ready. The 2020 football season ended here, so why not start 2021 in the same place? You are looking at a Tulski Field in Mishawaka, where TV-46 begins its 32nd season of high school football coverage tonight with a good old-fashioned Princess City rivalry. Number 10 Mishawaka takes on number 4 Marion on the 46th game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? With my Hall of Fame partners, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. Bo's been here 16 years. I've been around 18. Bob came with the building. Great to have you with us for what we think will be another exciting season of high school football. And one reason is we have two teams who are used to making deep tournament runs here. Mishawaka got to the regional last year. They're ranked number 10 in Class 5A. Everybody knows what Keith Kinder's squad is going to do on offense. They've been doing it for 15 years, but he's excited about the defense this year.
Well, he should be, because last year they had to play a lot of young guys in key positions, and they were a little banged up at times, but their secondary is really strong. They'll lead the team this year, and they're ready to play. You got some size in the line. Offensively, what can you say about Justin Fisher that hadn't been said? He's a terrific young man, terrific quarterback. And, you know, when you think about handing the ball off to guys like Hardy and Burris and all those guys, I mean, he's got a lot of talent in that backfield, and they're going to need it on offense.
And Keith Kinder very excited about what this team could do in 2021.
I hope a win. You know, our kids have done tremendous amounts of work since last November. It's as good as an off season as we've had since I've been at Mishawaka. So this is the payoff, you know, just to get an opportunity to compete against a great program and an opportunity to be in a special atmosphere with you guys here. I think that amps it up as well. So our kids are really excited.
We mentioned 2020 ended here. Marion was this close to getting past perennial power Bishop Chittard. Chittard has now moved up to 4A, and maybe the path is clear for Mike Davidson's team to make another run at state. They have the talent to do it.
They certainly do, and they've been working really hard in the preseason, as everybody has, but he's got a couple of guys in defense. Stefano Sette is just going to rock you. Mike Murphy is a real quality guy, and he's back, and he's healthy. Offensively, they got a new quarterback in Bryce Lassane, but he's got some quality running backs as well, and the offensive line has some real size. So I think one of the things about Michael Davidson and being ready for tonight is they've worked awful hard, and he wants to play Mishawaka.
Absolutely. Our guys are itching. You know, I know they're going to be ready to go. So our guys have got to bring our A game. I mean, there's no warm-ups or anything along those lines. From the kickoff, we're gonna be ready to go and give it our best.
Bo Hunt works the sidelines again for us this year. And Bo, I think the one glaring difference between these two teams tonight is at quarterback. Bob mentioned Justin Fisher, 3-year starter. Bryce Lassane, this is his first varsity start. How big a deal is that?
Well, I think it's a pretty big deal. I think one of the biggest things, though, when you look at this early in the season is leadership and from that quarterback position. And when you look at Justin Fisher being a 3-year starter, the amount of work that he's put in the offseason and being around his teammates and pushing them and everything, he just shows that leadership. But you look at Marion, you look at Bryce Lassane, he's done that as well. He's earned this spot as a sophomore. He's beat out some upperclassmen to earn this role, so he's shown that leadership as well. So it'll be interesting tonight to see that leadership on both sides.
Now you might say it's the first game of the season. What's at stake? Nothing more than bragging rights, which only means something when you go to the grocery store, church, work, school. You get the idea. We've got a lot to talk about. The Keys to Win, sponsored by Jordan Auto Group, are next on the 46th game of the week. Thank you, fellas.
This is the WHME TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by TCU, Jordan Automotive Group, Bill's Heating, Intera Credit Union, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, St. Andrews Products, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome back to Bob Atulski Field, the home of the Knights, as we get you ready for number 10 Mishawaka and number 4 Marion. Time now for our Keys to Win, brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. And as the captains meet at midfield, let's talk a little bit about this Mishawaka squad, led by its quarterback Justin Fisher, 6'2", 215 pounds. A year ago, Fisher ran for 1,444 yards. He threw for 438. He threw for 6 touchdowns, and he hurt the Knights last year with 196 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. He'll get help on both sides of the ball from Milan Burris, the 5'11", 185-pound senior, is the top returning running back on this team with 310 yards, but he was also an all-state defensive back. The keys to win for Keith Kinder and the Cavemen.
Well, the Cavemen know if you possess, that's success. You got to hang on to the football. You got to be like a bus. You got to make a lot of stops. And then you got to look out for number 1. Of course, we're talking about Greg Atkinson, the speedy wide receiver defensive back for the Marion Knights. Coach Keith Kinder now in his 4th season with a record of 27 wins and 10 losses.
For the Marion Knights, their key players, one of them has never started a high school football game before. He is the quarterback, Bryce Lassane, 6'1", 163 pounds, and the sophomore. He's thrown 21 passes in his career for 107 yards and a touchdown. So how he handles this big moment tonight could be key for the Knights. So too could be getting the ball in the hands of Greg Atkinson, because the 165-pound senior ran for 281 yards last year, caught for 411, had 5 kick returns for touchdown, and oh, by the way, he was an all-state defensive back. The keys to win for Michael Davidson and the Knights.
All coaches at the beginning of the season want to focus on taking care of the football, and they'd like to get physical with Mishawaka, and they want to win the big play battle, and they certainly have the weapon to do that in Greg Atkinson. Michael Davidson, he's in his 4th season as well. He's 31-8 at Marion High School.
The weather tonight sponsored by Quiamba Ministries, and it is a hot night in the Princess City. 88 degrees, the wind out of the south, a gentle zephyr at 6, and just a 10% chance of a stray shower rolling through. The Knights won the toss, elected to defer. Mishawaka will receive. And Bob, as you take a look at Mishawaka in the white and Marion in the blue, we want to thank St. Andrew's Products for their sponsorship tonight of our broadcast.
No question about it. Mishawaka in their road white pants, white jerseys, white helmets, and Marion in their home blue jerseys, silver pants, and white helmets. And we're about ready to go. Here's my partner to start our 32nd season. Here's Chuck Freebie.
Kickoff sponsored by Markley and Associates. Alec Markley does the kicking for the Knights. Milan Burris is the deep man, but it's a squib kick that will roll out of bounds. And let's see if Mishawaka makes Marion re-kick it, or will take the ball at the 35-yard line.
I've got a prediction, partner. That won't be the first kick or the last kick that's kicked out of bounds tonight.
Keith Kinder talking it over with the officiating crew on the far side, and he'll send out his offense led by the 3-year starter at quarterback, Justin Fisher. All Northern Lakes Conference selection a year ago, and why not? He had 1,444 yards rushing and 438 yards passing. We'll set that Mishawaka starting lineup in a moment. It's an option team. Chase Gooden will be the tailback behind Fisher, and he'll have Milan Burris to his left, number 10, and Chaz Hardy to his right, number 9. So from the 35-yard line, 1st and 10, it's Fisher on the keeper, turns it upfield for 6 yards, and that's how our ball game begins. Mike Murphy on the tackle for Marion. Let's meet that Mishawaka offense. We've already set the backfield for you. The receivers, Bean Smith and Trey Thomas. The offensive line is a work in progress. Only one starter back from that group. That's Dawson Nowacki, the 6'2", 290-pound junior guard. It's 2nd and 4 for the Cavemen. And it's Fisher again on the keeper. Setefano Sete wrestles him down at the 44-yard line. 3rd and 1 for Mishawaka. Gives us a chance to meet the Marion defense. They have had to rebuild the defensive line with Drew Geiger anchoring things up front. What a core of linebackers. Murphy, Sete, and Kerr as good as any around. Atkinson and Lusaga experienced corners. Hoskin is an experienced safety as well. It's 3rd and 1. And it's Hardy on the end around. He didn't get there. He'll be marked short of the first down, and Keith Kinder has his first really big decision of the season. 4th and 1 at his own 44.
Quite a stop there by the Marion Knights.
And it appears as though Mishawaka will go for it here in its own territory. Keith Kinder telling us before the game a fast start was necessary for his team. You can't get it by punting the football. So let's see if this offensive line behind center Garrett Ginter can get some surge against Marion. Fisher will pitch it to Hardy. He cuts it upfield, gets the first down up to the 47-yard line. The first down for Mishawaka, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. Chaz Hardy, who had a big game in a game we did last year on TV-46 against Northwood, gets only 2 yards, but it's good enough for a first down.
Gave it right back to him after he came up short the first time. I think everybody was looking at the Mishawaka quarterback to maybe try to run up the middle on that play, as he is wont to do not only then, but 2-point conversions. First down, Mishawaka.
But honestly, Mishawaka has no problem with working the clock and taking 4 downs. And again, it's Fisher this time on a 5-yard carry on the quarterback keeper. Justin Fisher is as big as any back you're going to see this season. 6'2", 215 pounds. And he is durable. He carried the ball 201 times last season for this Mishawaka squad. When you think about that, that averages out to almost 20 carries a game. 2nd and 4. Caden Williams split wide to the left, but it's Fisher again on the keeper. Oh, Sete just pushes him back. That is a strong young man who wears number 77 for Marion. 6 feet, 205 pounds, Setefano Sete. And the big Tongan was there to greet Fisher and wrap him up a yard short of the first down. So it's 3rd and 1. As you take a look at Sete, one of 11 children in his family.
That's why he's competitive.
His brother Leopino on the squad this year. Chase Gooden, the fullback, on the carry, and Gabe Kerr wrestles him down at the 39, but not before a first down, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. So the first carry for Gooden, the junior fullback, who earned the starting job in camp, and he gets a first down. Gooden with some big shoes to fill, because a year ago, Drew Mason was the fullback for Mishawaka, and the young man that they called the Diesel, now at William Penn College in Iowa.
Good balance by Mishawaka so far. Burris has not carried the ball as yet.
Hardy in motion, but it's Gooden slamming off the left side. Gooden all the way down to the 31-yard line before Sete pins him to terra firma. They'll actually mark it at the 30, and that's a pickup of 9 for the Mishawaka fullback. The triple option, nothing new for Mishawaka. They've been running it since Bart Curtis came to town over a decade ago. And they have had a series of terrific quarterbacks. Cortez Lee, Sam Schrader, Sam Shively, and now Justin Fisher, and very good fullbacks as well.
Key man in that offense.
Hardy in motion. The throw goes to Hardy. Fisher completes his first pass of the night for a first down, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. Chaz Hardy only caught 1 pass in 2020. He equals that total in the first drive of the season and moves the chains for the Cavemen.
Only needed a yard, got a few.
Caleb Lusanga with a nice tackle that time for Marion to prevent Hardy from picking up big yardage. But the Cavemen moving the football down to the Marion 28 here on 1st and 10. Opening drive of the contest. The Cavemen have already chewed 4:45 off the clock. And Fisher will pitch it this time, and it's Chaz Hardy trying to work his way downfield. Hardy showing nimble feet, but a flag comes out, and we'll see what our first infraction of the season is about. Chain Gang is already on the move. Gives us a chance to meet our officiating crew tonight, as we will see a face mask called against Marion. And that'll move the ball half the distance to the goal line down to the 6. You'll get another look on our 46 Sports replay. And right there was the face mask grab. Brian Boltink nabbing the face mask. So it's 1st and goal from down around the 7-yard line. Burris in motion, but Fisher keeps it himself and uses that big body to protect the football and take it down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, there's a big pickup there by Hardy. And key carry picked up 17 yards and got Mishawaka set up. Chuck, I don't think Mishawaka minds what's going on here.
Not at all.
Running the clock, and when you're playing against a team with big play capability, you want to limit as much of the clock as you can. Plus the defense for Mishawaka's getting a chance to stay a little bit cool.
2nd and goal from the 4. Gooden up the middle of the end zone. Touchdown, Mishawaka. Chase Gooden goes right up the middle of the Marion defense and scores his 2nd career touchdown, his 1st of the season. And the Cavemen strike first. A terrific drive for Mishawaka as they chew 5 minutes and 48 seconds off the clock. They go 65 yards, a key 4th down conversion in their own territory. Kept the drive alive for the Cavemen, and now Mishawaka will line up to go for 2.
Cavemen line up to the 2-point conversion.
Fisher on a bootleg throws to the end zone for the 2-point conversion. Bean Smith with the grab in there. He was the backup quarterback last year. He snares this one, and Mishawaka puts a snowman on the board on a hot night. Chase Gooden to the end zone. Fisher converts the 2, 8-0. Cavemen on the 46. Game of the week. This edition of the 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. You could say the same about the Mishawaka Cavemen right now. They get it, run the option, and they've got it. 8 points on the board after an impressive drive.
One pass play in the drive just to kind of keep Marion honest a little bit. That was good enough for 1st down, but that's really good execution. Again, the balance. They got the ball to all 3 of their running backs, and I'll tell you what, really good effort in there by Gooden and Hardy on that drive, along with the quarterback, Fisher now, with 5 carries for 23 yards.
There you see Keith Ginder, the 4th-year coach of the Cavemen, on the sidelines, 27-10 in his 4 seasons at the helm. 1999 Jimtown grad, where as a quarterback, all he did was go 30-0 and win 2 state titles.
Terrific player. Had a short career in the media. Did a nice job there, and then first love in his heart was coaching football.
Connor George does the kicking for the Mishawaka Cavemen. Greg Atkinson is back deep, but it's a little pooch kick that'll go out of bounds at the 35-yard line, and that's where Marion will start. So both teams deciding discretion is the better part of valor on special teams and deciding to kick out of bounds. As you take a look at Bryce Lassane, the Marion quarterback, talking to Brett Badek, their offensive coordinator. Lassane making his first start at quarterback tonight. He was the backup last year to Maddox Begonia Bright. And actually, the ball went out of bounds before the 35, so they'll actually spot it at the 37-yard line for Marion. 1st and 10. Lassane will go from the shotgun. Caleb Lusanga is to his left. And a high snap, but Lusanga takes the handoff, trying to get around the left side, shows some speed, and finally tripped up at the 42-yard line. And we'll get a chance here to meet the Marion offense. As you take a look at Greg Atkinson, almost 21 yards a touch last season. The receiving core is very dangerous. The offensive line, somewhat rebuilt. In fact, Jack Brennan is out tonight. He's replaced by Isaac Watts. But you've got Atticus Horvath, the 6'3", 365-pound senior, right there in the middle. Second down, we'll call 5 here for Marion. Lassane wants to throw. Short out to Brady Hoskins. What a play by Colin Lutz to fight off the blocker with one hand and make the tackle with the other. Oh, Colin Lutz, a returning starter at linebacker, number 33, comes in with the big hit. And let's meet that Mishawaka defense right now. Bo Brown, a returning starter and a junior all-state defensive end, anchors the line. You just saw Lutz. Keegan maybe got some great time in that linebacking core as well. The secondary is the strength of the team with Milan Bernos, a junior all-state selection a year ago. And now Marion looking at 3rd and 10 after losing 5 on the pass play. Lassane with trips to his right. Mishawaka showing blitz. Gabe Luga in pursuit, can't get there, but Lassane throws it away, and it's a 3 and out on the first possession of the game for Marion.
Mishawaka did what you expected. They put pressure on Lassane, see if they could force him to make some quick reads, and he get a stop and should get the ball back in pretty good field position.
So Alec Markley will come on to do the punting, sponsored by Markley and Associates. A year ago, Markley averaged over 36 yards a kick. And Milan Burris is back deep for Mishawaka. The snap a little bit low, but Markley is able to get it out of there. High kick. Burris will just wave at it as Atkinson will down it at the 25-yard line. So a 38-yard punt with no return for Alec Markley. And Mishawaka will take over 1st and 10 at its 25.
Folks, Generations Adventureplex is the best place for your big birthday celebration, athletic team gatherings, corporate outings, and grown-up fun. They even have cornhole leagues and axe throwing leagues. Visit them online at generations-adventureplex.com. All CDC guidelines are observed and enforced.
1st and 10 for the Cavemen, already leading 8-0 here with 4:32 to go first quarter. Gets a handoff to Chase Gooden, the fullback, and he gets taken down quickly that time by sophomore defensive end Nick Klein. Klein, a member of the Marion lacrosse team, keeps Gooden to just a 2-yard gain that time, and it'll be 2nd and 8. There you see the numbers on Justin Fisher last year, leading all quarterbacks in the state of Indiana in rushing. Most people focus on the arm at that position, but Fisher does his damage with the legs. Chaz Hardy couldn't do much with his legs that time. Too many Marion defenders, and Setefano Sete finishes them off. Sete, the all-conference linebacker and a junior all-state selection, was about the 3rd man to lay a hand on Hardy this time, and once he did, that play was over.
Sete is so quick, and when he gets there, usually in a bad mood.
3rd and 8 for the Cavemen. Really the first what you would call passing situation for Justin Fisher tonight. Let's see what he does here. He will keep it himself on the ground and get taken down by Gabe Kerr after a pickup of only 3. 4th and 5, and you would think a punting situation here for Mishawaka.
Fisher now at 27 yards rushing here in the first quarter.
Well, Mishawaka is lining up in formation as though they will go for it. Now Fisher will back up and get into punt formation, or at least a shotgun. But Marion still not able to drop anybody back. And Fisher with a rugby-style punt, and that might not be his forte. That ball takes a Marion roll and is down at the 39-yard line. That's only a 9-yard punt for Justin Fisher.
And that is not a turnover, but it's sure going to feel like it for the Marion Knights. They got a big stop there in good field position.
That was not a spur-of-the-moment decision by Keith Kinder. They worked on that in practice this week. Suffice to say, it went better in practice.
Coach Steve Sheltraw spent a lot of time on this game, and they had a lot of concerns about Marion's special team. Folks, Marion high school students have many opportunities during their 4 years to take dual credit classes. Those account for both high school and college credit.
class of 2020 earned over 4,300 credits during their 4 years, and 95 students in that class received 15 credits or more, and that's at least one college semester's worth of credits. The best part is that the dual credit classes are offered with no additional cost to families. We invite you to learn more about our dual credit program by visiting our website, marionhighschool.org, and discover the advantages of being a Knight.
Lassane tried to keep it on the option, then he threw it out wide for Brady Hoskins, but the ball was short of Hoskins and incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. And you would have to say early on, it appears Mishawaka's defense, their objective is to try to rattle Lassane as much as possible. And you would expect that with a sophomore making his first start.
No question about it, partner. And Lassane has shown some really good efforts in practice, but there's nothing like being in that first game. It's a live team that is really focused on you.
Play clock down to 5. Lassane looks to his right, fires. There's Hoskins on a nice little slant pattern. He'll take it up to the 24-yard line for a Marion first down. Sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Brady Hoskins only had 5 catches last season, but one of them was the game-winning touchdown against Mishawaka, and he hurts the Caveman again right here with a nice little 15-yard completion.
Nice work by Lassane.
And Lassane showing a strong, accurate arm, the kind that he uses on the Marion baseball team. 1st and 10 from the 24, balanced formation. Lassane steps up, going to the end zone for Atkinson, dropped. It was knocked away at the last minute as Malik Washington comes over and makes the play from the cornerback position. Washington getting the last-minute start today in favor of Dylan Wise, and here's why: his ability to go one-on-one with one of the top talents on offense in Northern Indiana.
And that was a well-thrown ball. Right on target. Terrific play by the quarterback Lassane and the defensive back as well. Good football right there.
2nd and 10, minute 58 to go, first quarter. 8-0 Mishawaka with the lead, but obviously Marion threatening. Twins to each side of Lassane. He throws for Blake Oberg and over his head. Oberg is not the biggest target at 5'7", and Lassane perhaps overestimated his height right there.
Lassane now 2 out of 6 to start the ball game. Folks, Generations Adventureplex in Mishawaka offers 33,000 square feet and 2 levels of fun, including laser tag, axe throwing, bowling, an arcade, and a wide selection of food offerings, plus a 30-foot indoor tower drop. Yep, 30-foot. Generations Adventureplex in Mishawaka. Lots of fun.
You say a 30-foot tower drop is fun. I'll take your word for it. 3rd and 10. Luga showing blitz, and he went too far. Gabe Lucas says, I didn't make contact with anybody, but he jumped past the line of scrimmage area, and Keith Kinder giving him a talking to from the Caveman sidelines. And all of a sudden, 3rd and 10 becomes a much more manageable 3rd and 5. There you see our officiating crew tonight. Veteran group, Mike Monahan, the white hat, joined by Al DeRue, Dennis Kaiser, Aaron Kozik, and the legendary John T. Walszewski.
JT in the house.
3rd and 5. Lassane steps up, fires. Oberg makes the catch all the way down to the 5. It's a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting. I would say right away, that's obviously the favorite route right now for Bryce Lassane. That little slant pattern into the soft underbelly of the Mishawaka defense.
Nice gain.
So Oberg, a 3-sport athlete, he's also a wrestler and a lacrosse player here at Marion, makes the grab, and the Knights are knocking on the door with 1st and goal. Latter stages here of period number 1. Caleb Lusanga to the left of Bryce Lassane. Play action, thrown a little bit too far for Mike Murphy. Might have got caught up in the wash there in the middle of that Mishawaka defense. It'll be 2nd and goal.
He's showing a lot of confidence in Lassane's throwing ability here. Mishawaka's got the defense, the linebackers in tight to stop the run. So you got to take advantage of what they're offering.
Second and goal at the 5. Lassane looks things over. Hoskins and Atkinson split wide, but it's Caleb Lusanga trying to get around the corner. He does. Touchdown, Marion. It's sponsored by Christensen Furniture, and Lusanga, who got to the end zone 4 times in 2020, finds Hallelujah Land here. A 5-yard touchdown run for Caleb Lusanga. And now let's see if Mishawaka has already forced the hand of Marion, and the Knights try to play catch-up here by going for 2. It appears they will.
Got a real solid kicking game, but, you know, this game went back and forth last year. 44-43 final.
8-6 the score. Marion going for the 2-pointer of the tie right here. Lassane looks it over, fires the slant, and it is complete to Brady Hoskins for the 2-point conversion. Somehow he threaded the needle through that Mishawaka defense. Lassane and Hoskins make connection, and we're tied at 8. We'll get another look at the Mishawaka touchdown on the 46 replay. Lusanga did a good job of getting 2 people to miss right there, and then there was nobody left on the outside to contain him. And Bo Hunt, let's go to you for a Bills Heating sideline report. You've seen both these offenses so far. Is this pretty much what you expected tonight?
Yeah, I think here early on, and especially it's what we expected. You know, with Marion or with Mishawaka, they were going to keep it on the ground and just keep pounding it, try to run some clock. With Marion, kind of what we expected out of Bryce Lassane. You know, early on, a lot of his throws were a little high, and you see that a lot with younger quarterbacks. Their first throws are a little high, but then he started bringing it down a little bit, started hitting those slants, got a lot of more confidence, and you saw that there down the stretch, guys.
Thank you, Bo. And Bob, that drive set up by poor special teams play by the Cavemen, and Marion made them pay.
39 yards and 7 plays. Got it in the end zone, got the 2-pointer. No surprise there. We're going to be hooked in one all night. Folks, a reminder that Markley and Associates would like to give a special shout out to all the Marion players and students. We are very proud of all of you and your accomplishments, and they'd also want to thank the entire coaching staff and all of the teachers and administrators at Marion High School. We appreciate everyone involved at Marion High School. Our school community is truly a family. Go Knights from Markley and Associates.
Hopefully you're watching our live stream tonight, which is available on our Facebook page, YouTube, and the IHSA Champions Network. I know we've got viewers who've already checked in, watching from Greenville, South Carolina tonight. Hello.
Why wouldn't you? Hello, Greenville.
So like one of Bob's golf scorecards, a pair of snowmen to start things off here in the first period. It's an 8-8 game with 1:07 to go here in the first. And our kickoff sponsored by Markley and Associates. You take a look at Chaz Hardy, the deep man here for Mishawaka. Alec Markley to do the kicking for the Knights. Markley's kickoff goes towards the sideline, but it's fielded by one of the up men, Connor Putz. And Putz barrels his way down to the 29-yard line before Setefano Sete brings him down. That guy never comes off the field.
Yeah, it's sort of like Bob Gibson when he's out there pitching. The Red Chaindeans went out one day. He says, "How you doing?" He said, "Get off my mound." He did not want to come out of the ball game.
They'll mark it at the 28, and that's where Mishawaka takes over. 1st and 10. As we take a look at Justin Fisher, the quarterback. His brother is the backup quarterback. His older brother, CJ, now a student down in Starkville, Mississippi, the home of the national champions in college baseball last year, Mississippi State. It's Fisher on the keeper. He's able to break one tackle and surge forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Nick Klein was the man that brought him down from the defensive end spot. And it'll be 2nd and 7 as they spot it at the 32 in the waning seconds here of quarter number 1.
Folks, Christensen Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home office, and home theater, and much more. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Chase Gooden barreling through the Marion defense, and he picks up a 1st down to the 39-yard line. So Gooden with a nice pickup of 7 yards that time, and he gets a first down sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. Gooden with some strong legs. He is a long jumper on the Mishawaka track team, and he squats well over 400 pounds. Looks like the Caveman might get one last play off here in the first quarter, although Fisher has taken his time. And that's going to do it for quarter number 1 from Bob Atulski Field in Mishawaka. Well, you would expect with the season opener, both teams would come out fired up, and they did come charging out and putting points on the board. Chase Gooden did the damage for Mishawaka. Caleb Lasanga for Marion. We're tied at 8 on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. And it's a Bill's Heating sideline report, so we might as well talk about the heat down on the field. What kind of a factor is it, Bo Hunt?
Well, it's got me. I can tell you that right now. But no, I did notice it already in the first quarter. Just on the first drive with Mishawaka, when they were driving down towards the goal line, they were starting to take a little bit more of that play clock. I know they like to run the clock, but I think it was more to keep get a little bit of a breather for some of their guys. I saw Fisher kind of, going up and down a little bit, and that's one of the signs of, this heat really starting to affect people. And that first week of two-a-days that everybody had, it was only 72 degrees out here. So a lot of the coaches were like, man, we wish we had the heat because we know that first week's going to be hot.
And indeed, they stretched out the quarter break a little bit for the two teams tonight to give them a little more time to hydrate.
The officials do have that leverage. They have that authority to stop play if they feel it's necessary. We didn't see Burris carry the ball in that first quarter, Chuck, and I think that is probably a reflection of the fact that he's a two-way performer, and they're going to try to preserve him if they can.
Well, it also gives them some options, no pun intended, for later in the game that they haven't explored already. We've seen Hardy and Gooden and obviously Justin Fisher carrying the ball, and it's Fisher giving it to Chaz Hardy on a counter play here. And Hardy is submarine that time after a pickup of about 3 yards on the play. And Michael Murphy, the linebacker, was able to bring him down with help from Stefano Sete. That's a pretty good combination that picked up just about 200 tackles for the Knights last year with Murphy and Sete at the linebackers.
Well, and again, they love to play both ways. They'd love to be out there all night, but we'll see how much that heat affects them.
Now the pitch to Chaz Hardy. He gets a seam, and look out. Hardy past Hoskins. Gabe Kerr couldn't get him. Finally, they bring him down from behind. Atkinson does at the 35. It's a first down for Mishawaka, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex on a 24-yard run by Chaz Hardy.
Hardy with 48 yards rushing, 30 yards rushing for Fisher, 25 for Gooden. Boy, that's good balance.
Mark it at the 34-yard line. So a pickup of 25 on the play. Fisher calls a lot of the plays from the line of scrimmage, and that's what he's doing right here, trying to evaluate the look that he gets from the Marion defense. He kept it himself and made perhaps the wrong choice as Stefano Sete brought him down. And I talked to Michael Davidson about this at practice on Monday, Bob, and he said, look, you've got an experienced quarterback in Fisher. He's seen a lot of different looks. The best thing that we can do is maybe jump around on defense at the last minute and maybe get into an alignment that he's not used to seeing.
And sometimes you're going to create a seam, and that's really what Hardy took advantage of on that long carry. But I'll tell you what, they're doing some popping down there.
Yeah, they're a risk with it, too, as Gooden is able to run for about 3 yards right here to the 31 to set up a 3rd and 7. Obviously, you can jump out of position real quick, and then the next thing you know, you're letting somebody go by. And here's a definite problem for Mishawaka as Milan Burris is down on the field right now. And Burris appears to be a little bit shaken up, and obviously he's a two-way player for the Cavemen, so Keith Kinder wants his players to hydrate as he comes out to take a look at Burris.
Folks, CB Custom Painting is a proud sponsor of Marion football. Would like to wish the team good luck in tonight's game. A special shout out goes to former Marion teammate Maddox Begonia, and he wishes the Knights all the best tonight and all season. Go Knights from the folks at CB Custom Painting.
Well, normally before the game we look at the series history, but this break gives us a chance to do it. It's a series that goes back to 1969 between these two schools. Mishawaka leads a very competitive series, 21-12, and the game last year was one of the all-timers in the series, as Marion scores a touchdown in the final seconds and a two-point conversion to win it 44-43 at Steel Stadium, and I believe that's the only win for the Knights in the last 9 years against the Cavemen.
I believe you're right, partner. Both teams taking advantage of the stop and play, getting some water and taking the helmets off for a little bit, but boy, anytime you lose a two-way performer, it's really tough, because behind him at this point of the season, I'm sure a little bit inexperienced in that secondary.
There you see the two coaches meeting before the game, Keith Kinder and Michael Davidson. Believe it or not, 4th season for both of them, and neither one has lost a sectional game at this point in their career. There's a lot of coaches envious of that mark.
You betcha.
On 3rd down, it's Fisher trying to keep it. Sete kept him from getting the first down. Fisher lunging that 6'2" body up to the 26-yard line. And it'll be 4th and 2 for the Cavemen. And while Connor George is a capable kicker, that's probably a little bit outside his range. And so Keith Kinder will go for it here on 4th and 2, deep in Marion territory.
Boy, Fisher hasn't really been able to break anything. He's a big, strong, strapping kid. He can always get you a couple, 2 to 3, so wouldn't be surprised if he carries it here.
Although they've had success flashing Gooden, the fullback, up the middle. They did it here. Gooden staggering. Gooden probably got the first down with the second effort. As he's marked close to the 23-yard line, he had to get to the 24, and that'll be a first down for the Cavemen, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. A whole lot of want to displayed by Chase Gooden on this run.
Gooden now with 31 yards rushing, 48 for Hardy, 34 for Fisher.
Stefano Sete just couldn't get that second arm around him. And Gooden, we talked about those strong legs, 5'10", 200, was able to break the one-arm tackle of Sete that time. Connor Putz in motion, but there was confusion on the play, and Fisher lucky to hang on to the football, and certainly lucky to pick 4 yards up out of it.
Connor Putz is a pretty good athlete, good basketball player as well.
Putz was in motion, but Gooden ran right into Justin Fisher, and Fisher bounced off of him and bounced forward, fortunately for the Cavemen. 2nd and 6. 8:15 to go here in the first half, tied at 8. Hardy in motion, but it's Fisher on the keeper off the left side, and he jitterbugs his way for 5 yards and is close to the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1. Now we've got a Marion player down on the turf. So the players starting to drop here in the hot conditions here at Mishawaka. We'll take a timeout with 7:59 to go first half. Mishawaka and Marion are tied at 8. You're watching the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by St. Andrew's Products. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nickel, Bo Hunt, Michael Fuller, the injured player, was able to walk off the field under his own power, under the watchful eye of trainer Ann Masinski for Marion. 3rd and 1 for Mishawaka. From the Marion 14, Fisher kept it himself, or at least appeared to. We'll see. No, it's actually Gooden that carried the football. Chase Gooden gets the first down. Sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. Only a pickup of 3, but enough to keep the drive moving for the Cavemen.
Your proud sponsor, Weaver Consultants Group, located in Granger, Indiana, wants to wish the Marion Knights good luck tonight. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at WCGRP.com. WCGRP.com to see how they can help identify solutions that will help you achieve your business needs.
1st and 10 for Mishawaka, trying to answer a Marion touchdown with a long drive here, and Fisher is able to take it down to almost the 6-yard line. That's a pickup of 5 for the Caveman quarterback. And Justin Fisher starting to rack up the yardage tonight, Bob.
48 yards so far, and again, when you have to surround him and tackle him, it's a chore, and he's just a big, strong, strapping kid. Mishawaka is riding him well tonight.
You'll meet Justin at halftime, one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. It's Fisher again off the left side, carrying tacklers down close to the goal line. It looks like he got the first down, and it'll be 1st and goal from the half-yard line. First down sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. You'll get another look from the field level camera there. Fisher trying to extend that ball to the goal line, but his knee was down before the ball crossed. Matt Kowalski working the camera down there on the field right now. 1st and goal.
14th play of the drive right here.
Fisher himself makes it in the end zone for a Mishawaka touchdown. Justin Fisher with a 1-yard touchdown run, his first of the year, and the Cavemen are back on top at 14-8.
What a drive. 14 plays, and check this early in the season, you might expect a penalty or two, somebody jumping early, but both teams have done a pretty good job. There's a 6-yard penalty on Marion and a 5-yard penalty on Mishawaka so far.
72-yard drive, and this one chewed almost 7 minutes off the clock. And Mishawaka will line up to go for 2 again. They like the odds here, especially with a 3-year starter at quarterback. It's the pitch to Milan Burris, and he will cruise on into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. So it's 16-8 Mishawaka. And what a drive engineered by Justin Fisher as Mishawaka grinds it out like a Starbucks barista.
55 yards in the first half so far for Justin Fisher. And Mishawaka has done a nice job. You know, one of the things that Marion wanted to do tonight was get that ball in the hands of Atkinson maybe a dozen times, whether that's offensive plays, end around passes, or defensive stops.
Wow. Mishawaka brought a big student group here, and they're liking what they're seeing so far.
What's not to like? The way these two programs have been built, and the coaches and the commitment from the players is really outstanding.
So 16-8 in favor of the Cavemen. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, our TCU Student Athletes, plus we'll have halftime stats and highlights. And for those of you watching on the live stream, we'll get you updated on scores from around the area. There's some awfully good matchups here in week 1 of the season.
Folks, Cuyamba Ministries and Pulse FM present I Am They and Stars Go Dim in concert next Friday, August 27th at First Baptist Church in Elkhart. Proceeds from this concert go to help building a medical center in Uganda. Get your tickets now at tickets.com.
St. Joe with a 10-0 lead on Lakeland in the second quarter. LaVille has taken a 14-6 lead on Bremen in the first quarter down at Dom Bungie Field. Tippecanoe Valley leads Wawasee 14-0. That game in the second, so the Vikings are sailing well tonight. And after one quarter, Fairfield with a 2-0 lead on Goshen. Connor George does the kicking for the Mishawaka Cavemen. Caleb Lusanga is the deep man. They shade Greg Atkinson over towards the Cavemen sidelines, but it's a pooch kick, and Mishawaka can't run it down. Marion's going to have great field position again right here as they'll take possession of the ball at the 41-yard line.
The original Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this weekend for delicious Bonnie burger, fries, and a root beer float. For over 83 years, Bonnie Doon has been a part of the community. Great food and rich, creamy ice cream make Bonnie Doon a favorite for a local, great, cool treat. Open this season till October 30th. Bonnie Doon Drive-In on Lincoln Way in Mishawaka.
Elkhart with a 3-0 lead on Concord in the second. And Northridge leads South Bend Adams 7-0 late first quarter over Venerable School Field. So just some of the scores from around the area tonight. As for this one, Mishawaka with a 16-8 lead, just the third possession for the Marion Knights here in the first half. And I'll go to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report after this play, because that leads me to a question I have as Bryce Lassane takes the snap, looks right, and throws into the Caveman bench. It'll be 2nd and 10, but it's tough enough for Bryce Lassane tonight making his first start anyway, Bo. And then you have the added pressure that you almost have to score on every possession against the Cavemen because you get so few possessions, don't you?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, that's what Mishawaka wants. They want to limit the possessions. They want to go down, sustain drives, run that clock, and score every possession. I mean, that's their goal. That's everybody's goal, of course. But, when you're a younger kid and you're out there, as Bryce is saying is as a sophomore, you want to be perfect out there, and that's the key. You're never going to be perfect out there, but you just got to relax. You make a bad throw, you got to come back, and you got to make a better throw the next time, and it's just a learning process at that age.
Mike Murphy on the carry here for Marion, and Murphy, who just got cleared to play this week, does a wonderful job of carrying the football and picking up about 7 yards. As a sophomore, he was the number 2 ball carrier on this team. Now as a senior, trying to add some veteran leadership. But just to finish the point from Bo, I guess when you play teams like Mishawaka and get so few possessions, now you know what it's like to take the vow of poverty.
And you know that Notre Dame has struggled over the years playing teams like Navy and Army for the same reason. They eat up the clock and they move the ball.
3rd and 4 for Marion. It's Caleb Lusanga up the middle. Look out. Lusanga gets tripped up after getting a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting at the 39-yard line. If not for that tackle, he might have gone the distance. As it was, he picks up 14 yards. You'll get another look here on the 46 replay. And Milan Burris back in the game after leaving with that shaken up. Comes back to save the day for the Cavemen.
Great blocking up front that time for Marion.
5 minutes left first half. Lassane looked at the slant, throws behind his intended receiver, who was looking for Brady Hoskins. But fortunately for Lassane, in throwing it behind him, he threw him where no defenders were.
TCU is really a better banking institution where you'll get the latest technology and you're never too far from a friendly face. Discover the TCU advantage. Become a member today at TCUnet.com. Federally insured by the NCUA.
2nd and 10. Greg Atkinson, who averages 21 yards a touch last year, has not touched the ball yet tonight. And we have a flag thrown and a whistle blown, and there might have been some illegal proceedings going on.
Just the second penalty of the night, but it makes a 2nd down 15 coming up for Marion.
And now that puts the Knights in a position where you almost have to get the ball into the hands of your wideouts.
Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a proud supporter of high school sports in Michiana. They know all about teamwork as they provide components for the aerospace industry as well as medical, automotive, military, and defense. IFT is excited about the future and very proud of its past, celebrating over 60 years of excellence. At IFT, quality is a way of life.
Lassane fires right through the hands of Atkinson, who I'm sure was eager to hit the football, but unable to corral it. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Marion 3 out of 11 passing tonight, but it feels like it's been better than that. But he's had some balls that were right on target. And defense has stopped a couple. A couple have gone through the hands of the receivers.
Brett Badek, the offensive coordinator, sending the play in with Lassane. He'll have 3 receivers off to his right and Atkinson to his left. Lassane looks right, throws too high for Hoskins. It'll be 4th down and a punting situation for Michael Davidson and the Knights.
Perhaps. Not sure. I guess they will punt, but Mishawaka has been deliberate with their attack. They haven't had too many big plays, so I'm thinking that Marion might have gone for it and still been able to stop them. But boy, it's you're only down 1 score and got a chance to pin them deep.
Keith Kinder hoped that he could get 2 stops per half from his defense. He's had that here in the first half. And they've limited this high-powered Marion attack to 8 points, but they'll keep the drive alive with a roughing the kicker penalty here. The ball was not touched by the on-rushing defender, and he ran right into Markley with his foot in the air. That'll be 15 yards and a penalty on Mishawaka, as you'll get another look here on the 46 replay. Mike Monahan will not have an easier call to make this season.
No, and I know, Keith Kinder is the head coach over there is saying, don't do that. But you know what? Go ahead and do it. It was a pretty good play. Just missed touching the ball. He was in there. He had some pressure on Markley.
So now the officials are going to talk this over as to whether it's a 15 or a 5-yard penalty.
Well, I don't think he ran into him, Chuck, as much as he roughed him.
Yeah, it's a personal foul because that leg was suspended up in the air when Balin Eby made the contact.
Our sincere thanks to the wonderful team at St. Andrews Products for supplying our broadcast team with the finest in apparel. They can do the same for your team, school, or business. Promotional products, advertising specialties, business gifts, and so much more. Give them a call at 800-628-9922, or you can email them at sales@standrewscorp.com. If you have questions, our answer is always yes.
That's the second special team snafu of the night for the Mishawaka Cavemen, and now we've got a timeout on the field with 4:17 to go here in the first half, as there's a problem with the scoreboard, a malfunction. That's why you heard that horn going off, and now the scoreboard is reset here to 4:17.
Well, it looks like the officials are going to allow the kids to get a drink too, so that's a good thing. It is hot, but they're keeping an eye on them pretty close. It's great work by this officiating crew, one of the fine crews. And folks, if you're ever interested in helping out with high school sports, talk to somebody in the St. Joe Valley Officials Association about being a part of this. It's a great way to stay in shape. You make a few bucks. You're helping all the sports. And, I mean, you can do volleyball, wrestling, baseball, softball, football, basketball. A lot of things you can do and keep you busy and have a lot of fun helping sports remain alive here in the state of Indiana.
There is not a sport around that does not have an official shortage right now in Indiana, and they would love to have you. When you speak to those officials, use kind words. Don't do it from the bleachers as they're performing. On 1st and 10, Caleb Lusanga takes the carry. He's bobbing. He's weaving. He's even. He's out of bounds. Mark him out at the 11-yard line. And Lusanga serpentines his way through the Mishawaka defense for 18 yards and a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Lusanga now with 52 yards rushing in this first half.
So 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. Boy, that penalty for Mishawaka really looming large right now. Lassane puts a man in motion, looks left, fires left, has his man. Brady Hoskins dragged out of bounds by Luga down at the 2-yard line. A pickup of 9 for Hoskins, whom you'll also meet at halftime, a TCU Student Athlete of the Week.
A couple of first-class youngsters representing their respective schools tonight. Really excited. Yeah, it's one of the best things we do all year, partners, get a chance to meet those wonderful young people.
They'll mark it back at the 3, so it's a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Marion can get a first down without getting a touchdown here. Still 4:02 left on the clock. Here's the handoff. Lusanga trying to weave his way down to the goal line. Couldn't quite make it, but he may have the first down. So it'll be 1st and goal and a timeout taken by Marion with 3:55 to go here in the first half. As you get another look at Lusanga trying to battle his way to the end zone, but the Cavemen won't let him in. Still the first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Folks, Patty Shack is the original hand-dipped ice cream shop in Granger, Indiana, featuring super premium ice cream from Chocolate Shop Ice Cream in Wisconsin. Cups and cones, milkshakes, and malts are available along with sundaes and floats, even banana splits. Check out Patty Shack in Granger.
Tell you what, it's opening night here in Indiana. Next Thursday is opening night in Michigan, and we'll go into the Wolverine State for the season opener for new coach Danny Thompson and the Lakeshore Lancers, as they'll welcome Mick Enders and the Portage Central Mustangs into Al Stockman Stadium. We're looking forward to being there, and we'll show it to you Friday night at 4 and Saturday morning at 11:30. We'll also live stream it next Thursday night on our Facebook, YouTube pages.
Been up in Michigan a number of times to do games, and it's always a great pleasure to be up there on the Lakeshore. And Chuck, I'm thinking if you're on the Lakeshore tonight, you might have had a little gentle breeze coming in off the Lake Michigan water.
Yeah, that breeze has died down pretty well here tonight. 1st and goal from the 1-yard line for the Knights, who trail 16-8. Receiver split wide, but this has Lusanga written all over it, doesn't it? And it is. Lusanga to the end zone. Touchdown, Marion. His 2nd of the night is sponsored by Christensen Furniture. And now Marion will go for 2 to try to knot it back up at 16.
Another impressive drive. Both teams have done a nice job possessing the ball. That was our first key for both teams, wasn't it, Chuck? Possess is success, and they've done a good job tonight.
So we'll take a look here at what Marion decides to go for the 2-point conversion, and because they use the shotgun, maybe not as automatic as it is for some other teams. You've got to have some prolonged execution up here. They put a man in motion. Lassane gets by one tackler. Did he get in? Yes, he did. 2-point conversion, and we're tied at 16. Mishawaka had opportunities for stops there, but they couldn't cash them in, and Marion knots it back up at 16 apiece. And let's take a look at the drive recap here, Bob. And first of all, the biggest play of the drive on special teams, the roughing the kicker penalty. 15 yards kept it alive, and Caleb Lusanga did most of the damage after that. A nice 18-yard run. Lassane to Hoskins for 8, and then Lusanga took it in from the 1 for the touchdown.
59 yards on 11 plays for the Marion Knights. Again, those squib kicks have kept the ball out of Atkinson's hands, but it gives Marion good field position a couple times. Of course, Mishawaka has had the same. What a ball game. What a chess match. 2 great coaches, 2 great programs.
Well, we talked earlier about how maybe the possession game was favoring Mishawaka. Remember, Mishawaka got the opening kick of the game, so they almost have to score here on this possession because Marion will have the ball to start the second half.
I know both teams will get a chance to get a break, get some water at halftime, and I'm sure they'll really enjoy the time. They have put it out here in this first half. What a ball game. 16-16.
Markley and Associates sponsors the kickoff by Alec Markley. Chaz Hardy is the deep man. So far, nobody has really kicked it deep tonight. Connor Putz had a return on the last one. This one will go deep. Hardy will take it back at the 7. Hardy taking it right up the middle of the field. Look out. All the way to the Marion 45. Jake and Stewart with the touchdown saving tackle, or Hardy would have taken it 93 yards. That's the kind of execution we saw from Mishawaka on the kickoff return in practice when we went on Tuesday.
And that's exactly what Steve Sheltrod and the special teams guys were talking about. Center return gives them the best chance to make some blocks on the outside. Well, what a job by Hardy.
So now Mishawaka will try to bleed some clock here. 3:44 to go here in the first half. The Cavemen have 3 timeouts left, and Justin Fisher will knife off the left side for about 5 yards up to the 43.
What a return. Boy, Hardy really lit up the Mishawaka fans on the other side.
Perhaps the most underrated phase of football by fans, special teams. And yet we go to practices and we see teams working on it all the time. And now you know why. Fisher pitches to Milan Burris. He gets a seam on the right side. Burris taking it down the sidelines, and he'll go out of bounds, marked out at the 11-yard line. 27 yards for the dynamic Mishawaka senior. Burris, also a member of the baseball team, said he came out of the South Bend schools, went to Mishawaka 4 years ago, didn't know anybody, and the football team really embraced him as a family member.
It's a wonderful story, especially young people in the athletic programs.
Chase Gooden on the carry. He'll drag the tackler, Michael Fuller that time, or excuse me, that's not Fuller. But he drags the tackler up to the 5-yard line as Daryl Osmond makes the tackle. And it'll be 2nd and 4. Cavemen checking their wristbands. Still a lot of time on the clock. 2:41 and counting here in the first half. Fisher will really take his time here at the line of scrimmage. Give himself a chance to catch his breath. Hand it off to Chase Gooden, and Gooden able to pick up a couple of yards, take it down to the 2-yard line, and a timeout called by Marion with 2:24 as Michael Davidson tries to preserve some clock for his offense.
Folks, Generations Adventureplex is the best place for your big birthday celebrations, athletic team gatherings, corporate outings, and grown-up fun. They even have cornhole leagues and axe throwing leagues. Visit online at generations-adventureplex.com. All CDC guidelines are observed and enforced.
Well, let's check some scores from around the area. Fairfield now leads Goshen 10-7. That game is in the second quarter down in Benton. East Noble has a 12-7 lead on Plymouth. That game in the first quarter. Northridge has taken a 14-0 lead on South Bend Adams. That game in the first half. And of course here, all knotted up at 16, but Mishawaka knocking on the door, looking at a 3rd and inches here with 2:24 to go first half. Halftime, Jimtown leads Northwood by a count of 6-0. Jimmy's looking for their first win over the Panthers since 2012. And we'll see Jimtown next Friday night as they take on arch rival Concord in the battle for the Cable Line Cup over at Jake Field. Michigan City with a 28-0 lead on Riley first quarter. Here's Justin Fisher into the end zone. Touchdown, Mishawaka. The second of the night for the Cavemen quarterback. Fisher down there with a little celebration in front of a camera held by Mishawaka Athletic Director Dean Huppert. And let's see, the Cavemen have decided to go for one this time.
Watch for a fake.
And I don't know that they have enough players on the field. One of the linemen is missing, perhaps for Mishawaka. At least that's what the holder was signaling. Now he's okay.
I think he turned around and said, we're going for a kick.
Connor George's boot is up, and it is good. And with 2:21 to go in the first half, Mishawaka has taken a 23-16 lead on Marion, and let's take a look at how this drive unfolded. Also set up by special teams, the big kick return by Chaz Hardy got it going. Milan Burris had a 28-yard run, and then Justin Fisher was able to finish it off with the touchdown. And Mishawaka putting 23 on the board here in the first half against what most people feel is going to be a pretty good Marion defense, Bob.
No question about it, partner. You know, it's a tough week for both of these schools. Mishawaka High School lost a true legend this past week with the passing of longtime principal Robert Smith at the age of 94. Bob joined the teaching ranks of Mishawaka in 1952 as a biology teacher, as well as coaching football and basketball. The Navy veteran graduated from DePauw University, married his lovely wife Margaret Ann, and raised 5 daughters and a son. Bob Smith spent 39 years at Mishawaka High School and established the Mishawaka Scholarship Foundation, and that effort continues today. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Smith family.
Indeed, and Bob Smith, the father-in-law of Plymouth coach John Barron as well, so I know the Plymouth community also impacted by that as Connor George gets ready to do the kickoff duties here. Caleb Lusanga, the deep man. And instead of George, it's an onside kick, and it's fielded well by Marion at the 49-yard line as Nate Roeder is able to jump on that loose ball and give Marion once again terrific field position on special teams with 2:20 left first half. So Mishawaka tried to cross up the Knights that time, having Isaac Valdez do the kicking, but to no avail.
Well, Mishawaka has given Marion good field position. Now, if Marion could find a way to get the ball into the hands of number 1 here, the final couple of minutes of this first half, you never know.
If nothing else, Keith Kinder has put a lot of things on film for teams to have to worry about here.
Yes, he has.
1st and 10 from the 49. Ball was snapped. It didn't get back to the quarterback, and Mishawaka may have it. Cavemen say they do. Do they have the first turnover of the game? Yes, they do. It's Mishawaka football. Matt Lewinsky, the defensive coordinator, all fired up over that one. You'll get another look here on the replay from ground level. The snap hit Atticus Horvath in his own thigh. Nobody could get to it. And a quick dive that time by Mishawaka's Bo Brown, the junior All-Stater, gets the recovery. So now Mishawaka can really put its foot on the gas here with 2:13 left in the first half, already up by 7. You knew turnovers would be huge in a game of this magnitude, and Marion commits the first one.
Boy, that's a big, big play if Mishawaka can capitalize on it.
So the 10th ranked Cavemen trying to take a 2-score lead here. Have Justin Fisher dropping back, looking for Bean Smith. It's knocked away on a beautiful defensive play by Caleb Lusanga.
Well thrown ball.
If Lusanga doesn't come up with this one, you can cue the Caveman fight song, but he's able to disrupt the play.
Remember talking with Keith Kinder this week, he said our defensive secondary has to keep Marion from getting behind them, and that time they almost got behind the Marion defense.
On 2nd and 10, the pitch to Milan Burris. Murphy forces him to the outside, then makes the tackle himself after a pickup of 2. Kyle Dennison was over to help out that time, as was Drew Geiger. So it's 3rd and 8.
Do you think Mishawaka's in 4-down territory?
I think Mishawaka's always in 4-down territory.
Exactly.
3rd down and 8 for the Cavemen.
Fisher will roll to his left. Under pressure, throws. Oh, it's dropped. He had Chaz Hardy dead to rights, and Hardy couldn't get the hands up in time. 4th and 8.
Well, guess who's going to be deep for Marion? Well, they're going to keep everybody up tight to begin with.
Earlier, Mishawaka tried a little quarterback pooch kick, And now Keith Kinder wants a timeout to talk over what the strategy will be here on 4th and 8 with 1:33 to go first half.
Marion High School students have many opportunities during their 4 years to take dual credit classes, those that count for both high school and college credit. Class of 2020 earned over 4,300 credits, earning their 4 years, and 95 students in that class received 15 credits or more. That's at least one college semester's worth of credits. The best part is that dual credit classes are offered at no additional cost to the families. We invite you to learn more about our dual credit program by visiting our website. That's marionhs.org. Discover the advantages of being a Knight.
For years, a lot of the talk around here has been of Penn and Jimtown, and rightfully so. But you want the two teams with the current longest winning season streaks? They're right here tonight. Mishawaka has 14 straight winning seasons. Marion has 7, and then LaVille has 7. And those are the 3 teams with the longest streaks of winning seasons in the area.
Wow. That is impressive.
By the way, I mentioned Greenville, South Carolina. They're also watching in Columbus, Ohio tonight.
And why wouldn't they?
They're hungry for some football down there.
I bet you.
Wheerland join it too, 4th and 8, and jumping along the line of scrimmage by Mishawaka. So that'll make it 4th and 13.
It might change the idea of Coach Kinder a little bit. Mishawaka's 3rd penalty, 25 yards in penalties. Marion has had 2 penalties for 11 yards.
I believe the idea there was to try to draw Marion offside. So now Fisher lines up in a shotgun, and let's see if he dares to kick it away. He will. Much better on the rugby-style punt this time. It rolls inside the 10, inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. 46-yard punt by Justin Fisher. And we'll see how conservative or aggressive the Knights are, pinned back to their own 4 with 1:24 to go first half.
Well, you're down a score. You've had a couple of mistakes, and I wouldn't be too upset about it, Chuck, because as you said, Marion will get the ball to start the second half, and you sure don't want to make a mistake down in your own end right here.
So we'll see what Brett Badek decides to do here. He does have a couple of timeouts remaining. In fact, the scoreboard says he's got his full complement, but I'm not sure that's accurate.
4-yard line.
But the one thing Marion can't have here is another mistake like they had on the last possession.
No. And it was kind of an unforced error. The error came from the Marion execution on the snap.
Halftime, Tippecanoe Valley leading Wawasee 14-0. Caleb Lusanga on the carry. Spins his way for a couple of yards. I thought Mishawaka might try to use a timeout here, but they're going to let it tick a little bit. Ball spotted at the 7. So it'll be 2nd and 7 from there. New Prairie has taken a 7-0 lead on LaPorte in the battle for the Milk Jug. Northridge now up on Adams, 21-0. And Goshen has taken a 14-10 lead on Fairfield. That game in the second quarter down in Benton. Also, South Central leading Triton 9-0. That game is in the first.
60 yards rushing here in the first half for Lasanga. And Mishawaka used the timeout here.
Play clock is down to 13. And I'm not surprised that the Cavemen did use a timeout there. Here's Lassane throwing it deep, too high for Atkinson and incomplete, and that'll stop the clock and force Marion to punt on 4th down from deep in its own territory with 45.5 seconds left here in the first half.
And he had Atkinson open, just overthrew him a little bit.
And Atkinson was in space.
Yeah. Boy, you just, if Keith Kinder can go into the locker room at halftime and say, fellas, Atkinson didn't get a single yard in that first half. That was one of the goals coming into the ballgame.
Punt is sponsored by Markley and Associates. Alec Markley to do the kicking for Marion. And he kicks one out to the right-hand side. It'll take a Mishawaka roll and be down at the 32 with 35.3 seconds left here in the first half. So again, Mishawaka with an opportunity to strike here and add to this one touchdown lead.
A little dangerous. Good job by the Mishawaka defense to force that 3 and out.
So Mishawaka, I'm pretty sure, has one timeout left. Yes, they do. And it'll be 1st and 10.
Well, again, we haven't seen a whole lot of carries from Burris, but he is a special athlete. See what happens here.
Fisher throws back to Burris. Burris gets by a couple of people. Milan Burris down the left sideline, knocked out of bounds. First down for Mishawaka. It's sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. And Burris knocked out of bounds at the 7-yard line. A big 24-yard pickup for the Cavemen. Gabe Kerr was finally able to knock him out. So Mishawaka sitting pretty with 26 seconds left in the first half. They already lead it 23-16. It's Fisher trying to go forward to the end zone. Touchdown, Mishawaka. Justin Fisher staggering his way into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the night. And the Cavemen lead it 29-16. What a first half for the Cavemen offense. Taking advantage of the short field here and taking advantage of the great balance shown by Fisher. He just would not be denied.
35 yards in 2 plays. And check what a big pass that was to Milan Burris.
Connor George's extra point is up and good. And with 21 seconds to go in the first half, Mishawaka with a 30-16 lead on the Marion Knights.
Well, that's 46 points in the first half, and last year that was about
half the total for the game.
Yeah, so and Marion gets the ball to start the second half. We mentioned that, but boy, a couple of mistakes by the Knights have cost them. I'd say the only thing that would have stopped Mishawaka on that last drive was a penalty down near the goal line, but again, when you have well-coached teams and they're very disciplined, you don't see a whole lot in the way of penalties, even though it's the first game of the year.
Well, and if you really look at the first half, one of those Marion touchdown drives extended by a Mishawaka penalty, and the other one set up by a poor special teams kick. The Cavemen defense, despite allowing 16 points, really hasn't been that bad.
No, they haven't. And again, I hate to overemphasize the effectiveness or lack of same from Atkinson, but when we came to the game tonight, we're thinking we're going to see 2 of the top athletes, not only in the area, but maybe in the state, in quarterback Justin Fisher and Atkinson at wide receiver, return man, secondary man for Marion. And Mishawaka, give him credit, kept the ball away from him.
And I'm sure Connor George will do something similar here with 21 seconds to go. I do not expect Mishawaka to break the habit of not kicking it deep. And they don't. A little squib kick that will not be recovered, and Mishawaka has this. Setafano Sete and Gabe Kerr, neither one of them fell on the football, and the Cavemen come away with it as Gage Luga gets the recovery. Can the Cavemen strike one more time?
Well, you get a license to throw it deep. Kind of nice for Mishawaka right now. The receivers are looking back, and the sun has gone down behind the trees here to our left, to the west here at Marion High School. Lights are taking over.
Both Hoskins and Sete fan on picking up the loose ball, and Luga, the transfer from Riley, able to dive on it. So let's see just what Keith Kinder has up his sleeve here with 18 seconds left, and I think he still has the one timeout left.
I think he does, and boy, sometimes in practice, just for fun, you practice a play that's a little different. Let's see what they've got here.
Connor Putz, a late addition to the lineup. Fisher rolling out, under pressure, throws, finds his man, and Trey Thomas is able to step out of bounds after picking up a first down, sponsored by Generations Adventureplex. Thomas, a sophomore who threw out the game-tying run versus Marion this year in baseball, comes up with a nice play there. It's 1st and 10 from the 18 after a 14-yard pickup. Still 12 seconds left first half. What a wild end to this first half here. And truly one benefiting the Cavemen. Fisher nearly dropped it, now throws, and it's incomplete. There was a flag on the play anyway, and I think there's some holding by the Mishawaka offensive line, so this one's coming back.
Should take him out of any running opportunities. If they might try a long field goal, I don't know. That's kind of out of the range now.
I was going to say, that probably takes him out of field goal range as well, Bob.
Yeah. Folks, Generations Adventureplex in Mishawaka offers 33,000 square feet and 2 levels of fun, including laser tag, axe throwing, bowling, an arcade, and a wide selection of food offerings, plus a 30-foot indoor tower drop. Generations Adventureplex in Mishawaka. Lots of fun waiting for you.
So we've got a Marion player down on the sideline, Brady Hoskins. He has picked himself up and is moving back to the playing area.
He's been banged up a little bit already this fall.
And Mishawaka will use its last time out here with 7 seconds to go in what has become a very lengthy first half.
I was going to say, this is our 32nd year of covering high school football, partner, and this is a record-setting second quarter. It's lasted about 3.5 days. Well, not quite, but a lot of big plays, though. It's going to be fun to recap this at halftime. We'll also have our student athletes of the week. And while we've got a break here, we want to mention that Marion High School also suffered a loss last week with the passing of Patricia Otolsky, wife of former head coach and athletic director Bob Otolsky. Patty passed away in Arizona, where she and Coach O had lived for many years. Coach often referred to his wife P as the strength of the family and his true teammate in life. Patty Otolsky was 79. Our condolences to Coach Otolsky and their family.
Well, I know you're quite close with Coach Otolsky, and I don't know if you've been able to speak to him since Patty's passing, but how's the coach doing?
He's doing, pretty good. It was an 8-month battle for Patty, and it became apparent, about a month ago, I guess, that it wasn't going to go well, but so grateful for the time they had. And she was just a terrific lady, good golfer, and they enjoyed that and enjoyed Arizona quite a bit.
On 1st and a mile from the 34, Fisher heaves it up. There's no batting it around and having it fall into somebody's hands. And the first half has come to an end.
Already?
Here at Bob Otolsky Field on the campus of Marion High School, with the Mishawaka Cavemen on top of the Marion Knights by a count of 30-16, as the two teams will go off for what I assume will be a little bit of a prolonged halftime break tonight. And Bo Hunt trying to make his way across the field to the Mishawaka sideline to get a quick word with Keith Kinder before we take our halftime break and have our Patty Shack halftime report. And indeed, Bo is flagged down, the Cavemen head coach. Take it away, Bo.
Keith, you go into halftime up 30-16.
Am I on?
Yeah, you're on right up there. Right up there.
What's up, man?
Just your thoughts on that first half, man. You guys came out with their offense, really explosion in the heat out there.
Oh, we're all dead, Hell, I'm sweating like a dog. So it was a good first half. We thought that we would take some punches early, and then we thought maybe we could wear them down. We got a lot of football left, and they're still really explosive. Some things haven't gone their way in the kicking game the last couple times, so we got to keep playing. It's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be a war of attrition, because right now, I mean, like guys are falling like crazy because of the heat. So I was wrong, Chuck. We're not as conditioned as I thought.
Thanks, Keith.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
He's a delight.
He is indeed.
Keith Kinder, the Mishawaka head coach. No wonder he's in a good mood. The Cavemen lead it by 14 at halftime. The Patty Shack halftime report and our TCU student athletes of the week are next on the 46 Game of the Week.
And we welcome you back to Bob Otulski Field here at Marion High School as we get a chance to visit with our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online to tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. With us from Marion High School is Brady Hoskins. We'll get to Brady in a minute, but the visitor tonight, well, the Mishawaka Cavemen. And so we're going to talk to their quarterback, and doesn't need too many introductions around the area, but Justin Fisher, congratulations on all you're doing.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You're getting it done in the classroom, you're getting it done on the field, and you're also involved in baseball. This is a busy schedule for you, but being able to handle everything, you really have to be disciplined, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. My parents have taught me that from a young age. Discipline is everything. So, yeah, just balancing your time. So.
I know you haven't picked a college yet, or better yet, they haven't picked you. I think you're going to get a lot of attention. What would you like to study in college?
I would like to study kinesiology.
Okay. I can't spell it, but I know it's a study of muscles, so yeah. That's a good thing. And you don't have a preference for where you want to go, but it's nice that you have that choice made, what you want to study. Talk about all the people in your life that have made a difference for you.
I just like to thank my mom, my dad, and my brothers, and then my grandparents, aunts, uncles, everybody. And then I want to shout out Coach Shaw.
You better give a shout out to your center. He protects
Shout out Garrett Ginner.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're taking care of business, and really proud of you. Sure. Congratulations.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
All right, Justin Fisher from Mishawaka High School. Brady Hoskins is with us from Marion High School. And Brady, you claimed to have known this guy for a while. You guys were in school together earlier, and you have great respect for each other, and I know you both earned it. The hard work you've done in the classroom as well as on the field is really terrific.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing each other since we were young. It's been great. Always a good time when we play each other, so I'm looking forward to it.
We talked about academics, and you have a little bit more of an idea where you want to go, or at least you have kind of a five-team possibility, but what do you want to study?
I'm hoping to study business, and if I'm lucky, I'll get into the Mendoza School at Notre Dame.
That'd be great, and you've got some other good choices as well. Talk about your other involvement here at Marion High School. Any other sports or clubs or activities you have?
I play lacrosse here. I'm a member of the National Honor Society, and I'm an ambassador. I like to get out and just make the community better and do anything I can to help.
That's terrific, and give a shout out to all the people that helped you along the way.
My mom, my dad, my grandma and grandpa, love them all, my sister and my brother. They've all been there for me since I was young and helped me get to where I am today, so thank you.
Well, it's good to see you healthy and ready to go tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
Brady Hoskins from Marion High School. Justin Fisher from Mishawaka High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with our starting lineups, pregame show, all those good things coming up. We'll be right back with the Game of the Week here on TV-46.
This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV-46 for over 30 years. Welcome back to the Patty Shack Halftime Report. A gorgeous sunset in the Princess City tonight as you look through the trees that surround a Tulski field. Very pastoral setting. Does not necessarily find itself conducive for the kind of physical play that we've seen on the field tonight, with Mishawaka leading Marion 30-16. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, and Bo Hunt back with you from Mishawaka. And partner, Mishawaka has been very opportunistic, I would say. When they've given Marion opportunities, the Knights were able to take advantage of a couple of them, but kind of waned late in the first half.
Yeah, some special teams miscues, short kicks, fumble. Marion didn't do a great deal wrong, but they just couldn't sustain drives and really limited. We'll see the stats in a minute, but when it came to first downs and time of possession, Mishawaka almost 2-1 in time of possession. So Mishawaka did what they needed to do, and I think I still say number one thing was keep the ball away from Atkinson for Marion, and they were able to do that. And Marion's got to find a way in that second half, whether it's on an end around or something. They got to get the ball in his hands.
Let's show you how it got to be this way here at Marion High School tonight, as the Knights and Cavemen both came out fired up for the season opener. Justin Fisher found Chaz Hardy. That was the only pass in the opening drive. The rest of that 5:45 march on the ground, Chase Gooden took it in. Two-point conversion made it 8-0. Bryce Lassane hit Blake Oberg on a slant pattern. Caleb Lasanka took it around the corner. And again, Marion went for two. They got it, tied at 8 in the first. Then in the second, Chase Gooden doing a lot of the work on the ground. Justin Fisher would cap it with a touchdown run here. Two-point conversion made it 16-8. So Marion had some work to do. They got some help on a roughing the kicker penalty. Lassane found Brady Hoskins, took it deep into Marion territory. Lusanga flips into the end zone. Two-point conversion ties it up at 16. But this special teams kick return by Chaz Hardy helped set up Mishawaka. Fisher's second touchdown of the night put the Cavemen in front, and he would tack on another one late in the first half to make it 30-16. And a look at the first half numbers, Bob, show that Mishawaka has controlled most of the first half.
Right, and with 212 total yards, it's not like they executed well enough to really blow somebody out, but they didn't give the ball up and they didn't make many mistakes. They went for it a couple times the fourth down and got it. And they also had a tremendous first half rushing the ball, 176 yards. Marion struggled, 67 total yards rushing. They threw for 31, still under 100 yards total offense. And again, Marion gets the ball to start the second half. Look at those first downs, 12-5. Mishawaka possessed the ball, and that was the secret for them. And Marion's got to do the same to get the ball to start the second half.
So it's 30-16 in favor of the Cavemen. For those of you watching on the Facebook live stream, I'll have scores from other games. Second half play-by-play coming up momentarily from Tulski Field on the 46 Game of the Week. Don't know.
Ice cream wouldn't make it.
Thank you for watching our Facebook live stream tonight. Let's get you up to date on other games around the area. Third quarter at Rice Field, Elkhart has just taken a 10-7 lead on Concord. Also in the third quarter, Northwood is now on top of Jimtown by a count of 7-6. They've reached the half in Valparaiso, and the Vikings are shutting out Penn by a count of 14-0. Halftime in Benton, Goshen on top of Fairfield, 14-10. Second quarter, South Central with a 9-0 lead on Triton. At the half at School Field, Northridge is blanking Adams 21-0. Second quarter at Jackson Field, South Bend, Washington with a 21-0 lead on Hammond Central. At the half, Southwood leads Rochester 20-6. Second quarter, Michigan City pounding South Bend Riley 42-0. They're in the first quarter, LaPorte with a 14-7 lead on New Prairie. Third quarter, Tippecanoe Valley leading Wawasee 14-0. Also in the third quarter, St. Joe with a 20-0 lead on Lakeland. Second quarter, East Noble leads Plymouth 20-14. Second quarter, North Judson leads Culver 12-0. And here at Tulski Field, if somebody wants to buy us a couple of Kona Ices, we'll take them. They must be selling that product hand over fist tonight. It's a hot one with Mishawaka on top of Marion 30-16. Second half play-by-play from Marion comes your way in just a little bit. Thanks for watching the 46 live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and the IHSAA Champions Network. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Let's go downstairs for a Bills heating and air conditioning sideline report. I'm sure Bo would like the latter part of that, but I know you talked to Michael Davidson, the Marion head coach, at halftime. He could not have been pleased.
Yeah, I did get a chance to talk to Mike, and some of the stuff he talked about was mainly the last 4 minutes of that first half. And he goes, I asked him about the heat. He goes, that's what affected us. He goes, our guys just kind of gave up just a little bit right there because the heat kind of got to them. They let up just a little bit, and that's what happens when you got a team like Mishawaka that's got a lot of veterans out there. They can take advantage of it, and they did. He goes, we got to really step up this second half, and one of the biggest things is we got to get Atkinson the ball. He goes, we got to get him in different formations, and we got to get him the ball, guys.
Well, that's what happens when Michael Davidson listens to Bob Nagel.
It's just, it's really tough, and congratulations to Mishawaka on their focus and their effort. You know, the other thing Marion's got to be looking for are other heroes. Are there other players who can catch the football? We saw a couple of different receivers, a pretty good first half, but again, Marion only threw the ball 13 times, completed just 4 for 31 yards, but boy, they had some open looks, and I'm thinking they got to have a screen pass in there somewhere involving their top receiver, so we'll see what happens. But see what Mishawaka does here. They've been a little tricky on these special teams. Give credit to Coach Sheltraw. He's put in a busy week.
Well, with the sun setting here at Marion Field, I'm sure the temperature is just cooling unbelievably. You know, we started off at 88, and it's all the way down to 82 now.
Yeah, I was going to run and get my jacket there at halftime, but I think I'll be okay.
Connor George will do the kicking for the Mishawaka Cavemen. Caleb Lusanga is the deep man for Marion, but they have some speed on the wings. Right now, the Cavemen need to provide a football if this game is going to continue.
One of the requirements. Where's Andy Griffith when you need him?
So the officials retrieve one from the Mishawaka sideline, and we'll be getting going with the second half here momentarily. We'll give you a couple of score updates. We can tell you that Northwood and Jimtown now going to the fourth quarter with the Panthers on top 7-6. And Tippecanoe Valley has extended its lead over Wawasee 22-0. Here it's 30-16 Mishawaka as we start the third. A squib kick. Gabe Kerr will field it at the 38, be tackled at the 40-yard line by Isaac Valdez. And Marion will start 1st and 10 with good field position once again tonight. That has not been the problem most of the night for Marion.
No, it hasn't. And first down has also been a bit of a challenge for the Knights. And they've had some good plays. But again, you really have to do like Mishawaka's been doing. 5-6 yards on first down makes it a lot easier.
So Michael Murphy checks into the game. It looks like he'll be a wing back here, as Bryce Lassane lines up in the shotgun. We'll see what kinds of adjustments both teams make here in the second half. It's Atkinson in motion on the jet sweep. Well, that's one way to get him the ball. Atkinson around the end, speeds his way and knocked out of bounds on the Mishawaka sideline, close to the first down marker. The first touch of the night for Greg Atkinson, and it'll net him about 7 yards.
Well, check on a night like this. One thing about Atkinson is not having carried the ball too much already. He's got to be pretty fresh on a hot night like this. So if he's got his legs under him, he might be a challenge for some of the Mishawaka Cavemen who've been out there the whole first half.
Now Lassane lining up in the shotgun again on 2nd and 3. Long count, and Lassane will roll right, has time and finds his man for a first down. I believe that's Blake Oberg over there in front of the Mishawaka bench, and it is. And Oberg went right to the 50-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Saints pass complete Oberg.
They haven't moved the change yet as the official backpedals to put that ball down on the stripe. But with that nose of the football over the 50-yard line, they're waving on the chains. It's a first down.
Yeah. Oberg's caught a couple balls tonight. That's certainly has helped.
And there you see the point we've been making about Greg Atkinson. You combine all of his touches in 2020, and he averaged 20.7 yards every time he touched the football. So it would behoove the Knights to find ways to get it to him. They did it with a jet sweep to start the half. Oberg in motion. Lassane from the gun, looks, fires, has his man. It's Oberg again, only a pickup of 3 up to the 47-yard line as Gage Luga came up and hit him right away. Luga, sprinter on the Mishawaka track team, showed some closing speed there. That'll make it 2nd and 7. Murphy checks back out of the game now. Michael Prizagoda checks in. The same with the play clock under 10. Gives it to Caleb Lusanga, who battles his way upfield. Picks up about 4 on the play. It's Isaac Valdez, the 3-sport athlete, who makes the stop, the all-conference wrestler and also a baseball player, only a junior, comes up and makes the tackle. Marion looking at a 3rd and 3, and Bob, considering their situation in the game, I would guess that Michael Davidson's in 4-down territory here, barring a sack or a penalty.
You just gotta execute. You've got a lot of 3-yard plays. Mishawaka continues to keep their safeties deep.
Lassane with the play clock now at 2, finally gets off the snap. Atkinson makes the catch and is able to elude tacklers and get past the 40 and get the first down. Great effort that time by Greg Atkinson to get a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Watch Atkinson here. Gets out of the tackle there from Colin Lutz. Also got away from Keegan Maybe before he was finally knocked down at the 38-yard line. Only a 5-yard pickup, but that's more than what they needed.
Another first down.
Now it's a handoff to Lusanga. That didn't fool anybody as Bo Brown, the all-conference defensive end, comes in and makes the stop. Brown, another one of these 3-sport athletes on this Mishawaka squad, also plays basketball and a member of the track team.
One of the things about being able to get your top threat into the ball game, they've certainly done that with Atkinson, but one of the things about that is it gives other players opportunities. If you fake it to him, if he's running a deep route, he's taking a couple of guys with him, it becomes very effective once he establishes himself.
2nd and 8. Bad snap. Lusanga able to pick it up, but he gets tripped up by Valdez in the backfield back at the 39-yard line. That's the second bad snap that Marion has had tonight. One time it was recovered by Mishawaka, and this time Marion is able to pounce on it. Get another look on our 46 replay. And that was a point of emphasis for the Mishawaka coaches when we went to practice this week. They felt that if they hit the center enough during the game, these kinds of things would happen.
Good preparation certainly by both coaches, but it has been a factor in this game.
3rd and 11. Lassane looking right, throws, knocked down on a beautiful play by Colin Lutz. Lutz, the returning starter at linebacker, a senior, bats down the pass from Lassane. It'll be 4th and 11.
Well, Mishawaka has held with the help of the Knights a little bit, but Marion's got to punt the football. They have a very effective punter.
I don't think they're going to punt it here, Bob.
Well,
at least that's not how they're lining up. Now, they might have Lassane do something that Maddox Begonia Bright did a couple of times last year and kick from this position. We'll see. But it's Atkinson in motion. Lassane looking down the field, now has to roll out. Fires it up in the air, and it is incomplete, but let's see if there's a flag. There was a lot of contact down there. Kanan Jewett came over and made the hit, but there is no flag, and it appears Mishawaka will take over on downs.
Both sides were jumping up and down. I think Marion thought there was a penalty. Mishawaka said, nope, our ball.
That would typically be called a penalty, what just happened there.
I think it would. The ball was up in the air for quite a while, so officials made their call. Folks, want to remind you that Markley and Associates would like to give a special shout out to all the Marion players and students. We're very proud of all of you and your accomplishments. They also would like to thank the entire coaching staff and all of the teachers and administrators at Marion High School. We appreciate everyone involved at Marion High School. Our school community is truly a family. Go Knights from the team at Markley and Associates.
Cavemen go to work with Chase Gooden running right up the middle, and he is dragged down at the Marion 45-yard line after a pickup of 16. Take another look as Gooden is able to run away from one tackler, and Brian Boltink brings him down at the 44. And we've got an official's timeout as Gooden is limping off the field after that play.
Another first down for Mishawaka. As we said in the first half, they had 12 to Marion's 5.
Mishawaka first down, sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Owen Walters checks into the game at fullback now for Mishawaka. Walters, a member of the track team, runs the 200 and the 400 as well as a pole vaulter. Chaz Hardy in motion, takes the pitch out. Hardy cuts it back inside and takes that ball down to the 35-yard line on a very nice pickup of 9 yards for the Mishawaka junior. Mishawaka has some speed on this team. Keith Kinder says, sure, Fisher gets a lot of the attention, and deservedly so. But with wingbacks like Hardy and Burris, you have to respect their abilities.
You sure do. And again, when you look at what they also get out of Gooden, it's a full backfield, and that's what they've always had.
And of course, with a guy like Fisher carrying the football, he's going to keep it a few times as well. And on 2nd and 1, he's able to convert that one for about 6 yards. And it looks like we have another injured player down on the field. This one is a Marion Knight. So is 6:29 to go here in the third quarter. And Mishawaka on the march. We'll take a break. You're watching the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week. This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. So the injured player for Marion being helped to the sidelines. And Justin Fisher brings Mishawaka out for A 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. Daryl Osmond, the injured player for the Knights. Here's the handoff up the middle, and Owen Walters is on the carry, his first of the night. And Walters, who's spelling Chase Gooden, who left with an ankle injury, takes it down to the 24-yard line, a pickup of 5 for the Mishawaka senior. Walters, much different back than Gooden. Gooden, 5'10", 200, more of a grinder. Walters is more of a speed guy at 5'8", 170.
Game 6 on the play.
Here's the handoff again to Walters. He protects the football, wrapping it up, taking it down to the 21, and that'll set Mishawaka up with a 3rd and 2 here. And the Cavemen trying to chew some clock here with 5:40 to go, 3rd quarter.
Chuck, you almost feel like the momentum, excitement of the game has kind of gone away from Marion. And you mentioned at halftime, they need to create a turnover or have some big play to re-energize them. I know they came in ready to play.
Fisher keeps it himself this time. Fisher lost the football. I think Marion has it. Fisher lost the football. A lot of jerseys diving on top. Marion, nope, they did not get it. It is Mishawaka football. Looks like either Walters or one of the offensive linemen got down on the football. Here's Fisher being stripped by Setefano Sete. And again, a Marion player was right there, almost had it. But I think Tanner Parmley, the offensive lineman, may have been able to get in there and corral the loose ball. So that's a 1st down for Mishawaka. It's sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Line of scrimmage is the 14. Pickup of 6 on that last play. Fisher somehow got the ball to Owen Walters in that exchange, and Walters takes it down to the 10-yard line, pickup of 4 on the play. It is a little bit bizarre to see that 76 on Walters' helmet, but the 90 on the uniform.
Well, you know one thing, he's trustworthy. And Keith Kinder's got him in the ball game at this situation. You know he's a guy he can rely on to hold on to that football.
2nd and 5 now for Mishawaka from the Marion 9. It's Fisher keeping it himself and getting wrapped up and taken down by Nick Klein, the defensive end. We've called Klein's name a couple of times tonight. Only a sophomore making his first varsity start. And he's held his end of the deal well here against this Mishawaka option attack.
Another one of those 5-yard gains, partner. It's a good 1st down gain. And, well, 2nd down. Now it brings up a 3rd down and short.
Boy, Mishawaka chews up more time than a Friday afternoon meeting. Fisher keeps it himself, plows forward. Fisher down to about the 5-yard line. That would leave him a little bit short of the 1st down marker. It'll be 4th and inches. You'll get another look here from our field camera and see just how close Fisher came to getting to the 1st down chains. And it looks as though they've given him the 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal from there. The 1st down sponsored by Bonnie Doon Drive-In.
Chuck, this will be the 10th play of this drive. And Mishawaka has really been successful. 12-play drive to start the game.
Movement along the line of scrimmage, though, by the Cavemen will push him back 5 here. So 12-play drive to start the game, Bob. How long has this drive been?
Well, they had a 14-play drive to start the second quarter, and this one is now on play number 11. That just runs clock, picks up yardage.
3 double-digit play drives for the Cavemen tonight as you look at Michael Davidson, the 4th-year coach of Marion, signaling in his defense from the sideline. Here's a handoff. Owen Walters stood up. Did he get into the end zone? Yes, touchdown, Mishawaka. Owen Walters with his first varsity touchdown. He takes it in from 9 yards out, and the Cavemen expand the lead to 36-16. So Walters, who came on in relief of Chase Gooden, able to get through the high tackle and take it on into the end zone for the score. Connor George is here to kick the extra point out of the hold of Brady Fisher. Snap and set down and kick are all good. And with 2:15 to go in the third, the Cavemen are celebrating right now in the Princess City. They have bragging rights on the Marion Knights, leading 37-16 on the 46 game of the week. This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Intera Credit Union. We get it, and we've got it. You look at the Castle press box here at Marion High School. Great crowd on hand. Boy, so nice to see people back. I hope this can continue as the season goes on. People get comfortable with coming back to high school football. Great to see the student sections around anymore. And of course, you know, we're not past the scourge quite yet, but hopefully everybody can stay healthy and sports can continue for our young people.
You know, some of the younger players on both teams were talking about how it's so nice to come back. And when school starts, they've already been together for a couple of weeks. So you've got some friends, some contacts, and what the athletic associations make it really special.
Connor George, squib kick fielded by Marion at the 43-yard line, and they're down it right there. Nice catch that time for the Knights by Jake Murphy. But Marion's got some work to do in a 21-point hole. At no time did Michael Davidson's team trail like this in 2020. So a little bit of adversity here, and we'll see how it affects the Knights on this hot summer night.
Well, a couple of things to keep in mind. This is not a conference game. And it's a battle between a Class 5A team and a Class 3A team. But that's never been something that either school wants to give quarter about. And so Marion needs to come up with some magic if they have some.
Bryce Lesane, the sophomore, getting his first varsity start at quarterback, fires a bullet to Greg Atkinson, and Atkinson dives forward to the 45-yard line. A first down sponsored by CB Custom Painting. Give him credit for 12 yards and a first down. For Atkinson, his first catch of the night.
One of the things we talked about at halftime too, Chuck, was the idea that Marion is sending, they've got Mishawaka's safeties playing very deep. Linebackers are coming up to stop the run. There's a gap in there, and they hit it that time for 12 yards.
44-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Lesane gives it off. Caleb Lasanga lost the football, got it back, but a huge loss of 12 yards on the play as Lasanga had to regroup back in Marion territory. You'll get another look on the 46 replay.
It's going to affect his rushing yardage tonight. He's down to 46 total.
Marion defense went ball hunting that time and found the ability to knock that one away from Caleb. Fourth quarter score, St. Joe on top of Lakeland 27-0. Late in the fourth, Northwood leading Jimtown 7-6.
Looking forward to the Jimmies next week.
New Prairie now on top of LaPorte 21-14 in the second quarter. Here Bryce Lesane throws out in the flat. There's Greg Atkinson. Gets around one man, jitterbugging his way back up to the 48-yard line. A lot of effort, but really only picked up 8 yards. Brought it back to a third and manageable here maybe for Marion. It's third and about 14. But you can feel that gasp from the crowd on both sides when Atkinson gets his hands on the football.
You really can. And Bryce Lesane in his second half now has completed 3 in a row. And 3 out of 4 so far. Got 61 yards passing in the ballgame.
Bad snap again, and Lesane is able to get on it. Back at the 48-yard line, and this has been a little bit of a problem for the Knights tonight. So they will have to figure out here at the third quarter break what they're going to do on fourth down, because the third quarter has come to an end on an emotional night here in Mishawaka. Both sides fighting hard to get bragging rights, but right now it's the Cavemen who rule the roost. They're up on Marion 37-16 as we go to the fourth on 46. This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week being brought to you in part by the Jordan Automotive Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Not sure if the night's been that way for Bo Hunt down on the sidelines, but he joins us now with the Bills Heating and Air Conditioning sideline report. What has impressed you the most about both of these clubs tonight, Bo?
I think with Mishawaka Cavemen, I think their defense was really stepped up tonight. You know, we knew their offense was going to be out there and be kind of one of the juggernauts in the area and really sustain drives and just kind of, push it and push it and push it and make you wear out, But this defense has really stepped up and really stymied this Marion offense. On the Marion side, I really like what their offense is doing here in the second half. They're starting to open up a little bit more, starting to get some more confidence. We knew coming in that this Marion offense was going to be a young offense, offensive line, backfield, and stuff like that, but they're starting to come together a little bit and starting to show some promise here in the second half as well, guys.
Fourth down, Marion will go for it, trailing by 21, but the pass is intercepted by Milan Burris, and he's got a convoy of blockers in front of him. Burris coming down the sideline. Seti knocks him out of bounds, and we've got a late flag. Milan Burris, the junior All-State defensive back, coming through with a big interception here. And Mishawaka will have the football well in the Marion territory despite the late flag.
The Burris put on a show right there, and that's what we've seen from him in practice and last year. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Our 3 Indiana locations are involved with supplying process components for aerospace giants, including the latest developments for Boeing and SpaceX. At IFT, we're like the teams in this game working toward a great finish.
There's a block in the back called against Mishawaka at the end of that run, and so it'll be a 15-yarder tacked on to the end, so that brings Mishawaka back to the Marion 37 or 38-yard line.
40 yards in penalties now for Mishawaka, and again, that's not a bad number if that's the way the ball game ends, but Marion has only had 11 yards in penalties.
By the way, third quarter score, Valparaiso leading Penn 21-7. Halftime, John Glenn leads Boone Grove 33-0. Austin Fouts and the Falcons feel like they've got a pretty good chance in that NIC smaller school division. Justin Fisher keeps it himself on the option, and he spins forward for about 9 yards on that carry. And Fisher not really threatening the 100-yard mark for the night yet, but still has been a very steadying influence for this Mishawaka squad.
No question, partner. He's at 76 yards now for the ball game, but he's also thrown it fairly well. I mean, at times very effectively, but more importantly, when you have a guy like that, every time the ball is snapped, Marion's got to check him first. A lot of times in this offense, you check the fullback first, but they're always looking at Fisher.
By the way, Fisher just a terrific athlete. He batted .467 for the Caveman baseball team last year, as you see Chase Gooden stagger his way down to the 20-yard line for a first down, brought to you by Bonnie Doon Drive-In. Good to see Gooden back in the game after that ankle problem he had in the third quarter.
Gooden now is 48 yards rushing. 30 yards for Burris, 57 for Hardy.
Good balance tonight from the Cavemen, and I'm sure that's what Kyle Shaw and Keith Kinder want out of that offense.
You betcha. And they've gone well over 200 yards rushing. And the big thing is their defense is giving up literally nothing.
Handoff up the middle. Gooden carrying tacklers with him. And he takes it on up to the 15-yard line.
Gooden on the carry.
Boltink in on the tackle again, along with Elijah Davis. One thing I think you're also seeing here in the second half, Bob, is the size of that Mishawaka offensive line. And there were a lot of questions about that offensive line when fall camp opened up. Mishawaka graduated 4 starters from its line last year. But they've done a nice job here tonight.
Well, and their conditioning might be a little bit better than some of the big boys in this game. So they're very active. Again, when you're running this type of an offense, you don't have to overpower or pancake opponents. You just got to give your running backs a little bit of a gap to get in.
Well, Fisher just ran for 11, but this is not going to be an ad to become an umpire in the IHSAA because there's the back pedal, and then what you didn't see was the knee in the back as Gooden, or not Gooden, but Caden Williams was trying to avoid the umpire and wound up, I think, inflicting a little bit of further damage.
Christensen Furniture is a local family-owned business serving Michiana since 1912. If you're looking for the perfect furniture for your home, Christensen Furniture has everything you need for bedrooms, dining rooms, living rooms, home offices, home theater, and much more. Christensen Furniture, where affordability meets style.
Michael Murphy takes Chase Gooden down, then helps him up. Murphy always showing tremendous sportsmanship out on the field, 6'1" senior. Comes from a long line of Marion Knights in that family.
Boy, a lot of Murphys. Over the years, great contributors to Marion's success. Remember, Tom Murphy went on to play for the Fighting Irish at Notre Dame.
2nd and goal from the 2 for Mishawaka with under 9 minutes to go in this one. The Cavemen trying to pad a 21-point lead. Gooden carries the ball and carries his man into the end zone for his 2nd touchdown of the night. Chase Gooden on the carry, and it's 43-16 Mishawaka.
50 yards on the night now for Gooden. Chuck, I don't have a way really to go back and go through all the numbers for Mishawaka in this game, but I'm thinking they must have 20 carries for 5 yards. And when you do that on 1st down, it makes it a lot easier.
That makes Keith Kinder very happy.
You betcha.
And Garrett Ginter and Tanner Parmley leading the surge on that one. Bad snap. Brady Fisher's going to try to throw it in the end zone, but there's nobody there. And so the conversion fails, and Mishawaka leads it 43-16. But watch the center and the guard here create some room for Mr. Gooden. He went right in behind those big hosses, and the Cavemen are clubbing people tonight here in Mishawaka. This edition of the TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by TCU, Teachers Credit Union, empowering members for 90 years, federally insured by the NCUA. All smiles over on the Mishawaka side tonight. Their Cavemen leading the Marion Knights by a count of 43-16. Some other scores from around the area. Northwood rallied to beat Jimtown tonight, 7-6. So the Jimmies still pining for a win over the State Road 19 rivals. Nate Andrews' team getting off to a good start. Southwood leads Rochester 32-12. That game now in the 4th. Tippecanoe Valley on top of Wawasee 36-7. That game also in the 4th quarter. Northridge leads Adams 21-0. That game in the 4th quarter as well. Here, 43-16 in favor of Mishawaka. Connor George with the kick, another squib. It'll be fielded by Setefano Sete at the 31-yard line. Sete getting up ahead of steam. Remember, he was a running back last year, and the linebacker takes it up to the 43-yard line.
And 43 is the magic number right now. Mishawaka has 43 points, but last year that wasn't enough. They got beat 44-43, but boy, their defense has improved so much this year. And again, Marion had some changes. Matter of fact, Maddox Begonia is obviously gone, but he did a great job for Marion last year. And it reminds us that CB Custom Painting is a proud sponsor of Marion football. I'd like to wish the team good luck in tonight's game and all season. Special shout out from former Marion teammate Maddox Begonia. He says, "Go Knights." Great to hear from Maddox.
He did a terrific job with this team last year, taking them all the way to the semi-state before that narrow loss to Bishop Chatard. The success factor has moved Bishop Chatard back up into 4A, but that doesn't mean that the road to the 3A title is paved in gold for the Marion Knights. There will be some combatants in the north, West Lafayette among them.
No question about it. That's the way you want it.
Here's the handoff to Caleb Lusanga. Lusanga trying to swivel the hips, but he can't get away from the Mishawaka tackler, Gage Luga, who has played a nice game in his first game with the Cavemen. He transferred over from Riley last season.
A gain of a yard on the play for Lusanga. He's got 47 yards rushing tonight.
2nd and 9 from the 44-yard line. Mishawaka's closing speed on defense, I think, has been impressive tonight, too. Bo mentioned the improvement that Keith Kinder's team has made in that area. Lusanga trying to get outside, and there you see some of that closing speed again as it's Keegan Maybe coming over, and there was no maybe about the tackle on the Marion sideline. He makes it at the 44-yard line, no gain on the play. And this Mishawaka defense showed signs of improvement at the end of last year, Bob. First 5 games, they gave up almost 34 points a game. Their last 6, they held opponents to 17.7 points a game, and they've only allowed what I think will still be a potent Marion attack, 16 points tonight.
No question about it. And you mentioned that they're arriving there quickly on defense. The secret is you got to know where you're going. You have responsibilities, and they're able to read those quickly and then really get in pursuit. They've done a good job.
Lassane on 3rd and 9 finds Michael Murphy, but Luga upends him with an ankle tackle right at the midfield stripe, and it'll be 4th and 3 from there for Marion.
Gain of 6 yards. Marion now 10 of 20 passing for the ball game for 67 yards.
Elkhart has taken a 12-7 lead on Concord with about 6 minutes to play there. So a defensive struggle over at Rice Field tonight.
Again, very hard-working, well-coached programs.
Here's Lassane on 4th and 3, looking downfield, finds his man, and Oberg couldn't hang on. Atkinson wound up cutting in front of Oberg. I think Oberg lost a little bit of sight of the ball, couldn't corral it, and Mishawaka will take over on downs at the midfield stripe.
Folks, your proud sponsor, Weaver Consultant Group, is located in Granger, Indiana. They want to wish the Marion Knights good luck tonight and all season. Check out Weaver Consultants Group on the web at WCGRP.com and see how they can help you identify solutions to help you achieve your business needs.
So Justin Fisher, let's see if he comes out for this possession. He will, with 6:22 to go and a 43-16 lead. Keith Kinder not necessarily trying to take his foot off the gas, but just doesn't want a mistake here to give any sign of life. Owen Walters on the carry and a good pushback tackle by Marion that time. Jake Murphy, the sophomore, comes up and makes the hit.
Walters done a nice job.
Really, you'd be hard-pressed to find anybody on Mishawaka who hasn't done a nice job tonight. I think Keith Kinder's got to be delighted with what he's seen in this opener. He'll take a timeout. Timeout is called on the field, even though the clock continues to run down to 5:56, and we'll keep it right here. Believe me, nobody's complaining about the clock running right there.
No, I don't think so. We want to tell you, folks, that Kiamba Ministries and Pulse FM present I Am They and Stars Go Dim. They'll be in concert next Friday, August 27th at First Baptist Church in Elkhart. Proceeds from this concert go to help building a medical center in Uganda. Get your tickets now at tickets.com.
Final now, Tippecanoe Valley. Stephen Moriarty with a good team down there this year, it appears, as they beat Wawasee tonight 42-7. Goshen has a 14-10 lead on Fairfield with 9.5 minutes left. Northridge leading Adams 21-0. That game now in the fourth quarter.
St. Andrews Products is celebrating over 30 years of serving corporations, high schools, and colleges, as well as the PGA Tour. We're proud to support the new American Dunes Golf Course in Grand Haven, Michigan, providing resources for the Folds of Honor mission in providing scholarships to veterans and their families. Let us help your cause. Reach us at sales@standrewscorp.com, where your expectations become our standard.
Brady Fisher in at quarterback. Justin's younger brother, the sophomore, and a lot of second-teamers in there now for the Cavemen as the handoff is made that time to Xavion McBride, and the sophomore able to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It'll be 3rd and 9 for Mishawaka from here.
I saw Mike Fisher before the ball game, obviously very proud of his sons, and he said, "Hey, don't forget, I got another one." Got a way up, so that's a great association, terrific family, well representing Mishawaka High School.
Brady Fisher, a sophomore, and the heir apparent, quite frankly, next year to Justin. And here's another handoff up the middle, and it's McBride again on the carry. So Xavion McBride getting his second carry of the night. That'll set up 4th down. And I think Mishawaka will just go ahead and run the football here rather than bring the special teams out.
Folks, the original Bonnie Dunes Drive-In on Lincoln Way has all your favorites. Stop by this weekend for delicious Bonnie Burger fries and root beer float. For over 83 years, Bonnie Dunes has been part of the community. They have great food and rich, creamy ice cream. Make Bonnie Dunes a favorite for your next cool treat. When you stop by this season, they're open till October 30th. Bonnie Dune Drive-In on Lincoln Way.
Now Mishawaka will take another time out with 4:32 to go. We'll remind you that we've got a doubleheader next weekend of high school football for you on both Friday and Saturday. Our Michigan game is a Thursday night contest that will air on Friday at 4 o'clock and Saturday at 11:30. As Portage Central, Mick Ender's team with a couple of Division I players, come down to Stevensville and take on new coach Danny Thompson and the Lancers. That'll be Thursday night, airing Friday at 4, Saturday at 11:30. That's followed by our typical Friday night game, the Battle for the Cable Line Cup over at Jake Field, as the Jimtown Jimmies and Concord Minutemen meet for the 61st time. Series all knotted up at 30 apiece. Looking forward to seeing that one shown at Friday night 11, Saturday morning at 9. Of course, you can watch both of them on the live stream on Facebook and YouTube, and hopefully it won't be as sweaty as it is tonight.
Both those teams, Jimtown Concord, involved in really good games tonight.
Here's a run up to the outside for Mishawaka, and Jack Troyer is brought down, and Marion will take over on downs at the 46-yard line. I do stand corrected. We won't be able to live stream the Concord game next Friday night, but we will live stream the game from Lakeshore.
We do it when we can. It's been a great part of our broadcast the last couple of years. So much good response from people that can't make the game and get a chance to watch the live stream. Working with the IHSA network as well.
Look at that Marion huddle on the sidelines, and I think you might see a change of quarterback here for Marion, as I see Lucas Granado, the transfer from Penn, standing there in the huddle with Brett Badek.
Yeah, give him a couple of snaps here. We got 4:25 left to play.
And a lot of the second stringers coming in from Marion as well. Granado, pretty good basketball player as well, had some off-season surgery. But we'll see how he does in this situation with Marion down 43-16. And Mishawaka making some wholesale personnel changes as well.
Yep. got some guys getting a hand as they go off the field, and they've richly deserved it. And so while we have a break, we want to tell you, what we're wishing is that Patty Shack would deliver like right now. Patty Shack is the original hand-dipped ice cream shop in Granger, featuring super premium ice cream from Chocolate Shop Ice Cream in Wisconsin. Cups and cones, milkshakes and malts, sundaes and floats, even banana splits. Check out Patty Shack. They're in Granger.
Mishawaka wearing LOD on the back of their helmets this year. That stands for Lights Out Defense. That's a tribute to their former defensive coordinator, Greg Smith, who died in a tragic accident at his home this past summer, and that was one of his trademark phrases. Greg was one of those guys that just always brought a ton of energy. He was really good with those kids that might be on the borderline a little bit, might be ready to go the wrong way, and kind of directing them back. His son Mason plays on this Mishawaka team, so we want to give a shout out to the memory of Greg Smith, which lingers with this Mishawaka team all through the season as they wear that LOD sticker. Carry there for Marion, as carrying the football that time for the Knights was Joseph Boone, a freshman, 5'8", 183 pounds. Marion has a lot of freshmen in their program, I believe 30 of them in total, which is an anomaly these days, quite frankly, for high school football programs.
It is, and you got to be careful. You don't want to put a lot of freshmen in your lineup, because if the game goes past 10 o'clock, they're out after curfew.
Here's Granado handing the ball off. This time the carry made by Jameer Mays. Mays, a sophomore running back, 5'9" and 175 pounds. And he carries it up to the 39-yard line for a first down, sponsored by CB Custom Painting. So it'll be 1st and 10 from there with 3:35 and counting to go in this one.
You think what teams are going to glean from this broadcast watching Mishawaka, but we haven't seen them do, and they can do, is pass the football.
Well, we saw Justin Fisher toss the ball around in practice quite a bit on Tuesday, and he has improved in that game. Lucas Granado with a nice throw here as he finds Braden Oberg, and Oberg takes the ball down near the first down marker. Let's see where they place it. Looks like it'll be right around the 29-yard line, just past the chains, and that'll be 1st and 10 for Marion. Another first down sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Marion's had a couple of first downs here. Keep in mind they only had 5 in the entire first half, so it's good to see some of the backups getting in there and doing a good job. Chuck, we got to see the younger of the Fisher brothers play a few downs tonight. Do you think Justin's job is in jeopardy?
Brady will tell him it is, as Granado is incomplete there. Marion will have no time to lick its wounds. They got to turn around and play Culver Academy next week here at Atulski Field. And for Mishawaka, while the task doesn't get any easier either, Steel Stadium will be the site for quite a tussle between Mishawaka and Elkhart next week, in the last scheduled game of that rivalry for the time being.
Right.
Here's a handoff, and Marion has some speed going around the outside as Jakin Stewart makes the carry. Stewart, 5'9", 154 pounds sophomore. He takes it down to the 21 for a pickup of 8. Knights would like to punch it in, make this final score a little bit more respectable, trailing 43-16.
I know for some of those younger guys getting in the ball game here, it's a big deal, and they get to hear their name announced on the PA system, and they'll get a chance to watch themselves a little bit on our broadcast. But it's a big step, You're a youngster, you're looking for playing time, and you get a little bit tonight.
Here's the handoff off the right side. Another Knight getting his carry is Stewart, his second in a row here, and he's got the first down. It's sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Got to mention that both coaches have been very classy here, certainly in the fourth quarter, but nobody's trying to embarrass anybody. They're out there playing, getting other people in, and the issue was decided probably late in the third quarter, and so you play on and get people some snaps.
Stewart one more time nowhere to go this time. Good tackle that time around the ankles by Brady Hunsberger, a senior defensive lineman working with the second unit.
It's a big tackle as well.
St. Joe with a 27-0 shutout of Lakeland tonight.
They're rolling.
John Glenn with a 40-0 lead on Boone Grove. That game going to the fourth.
It's impressive scoring 40 points the first time out.
Here's a nice play for Marion, and they will take it down inside the 10-yard line to about the 7. That's Boone again, the freshman. And Joseph Boone at the 7-yard line. That might be good enough for the first down. Nope, it looks like he's just about a half a yard short. It'll be third down and less than a yard.
And maybe time for one more play, maybe two.
Lucas Granado keeps it himself on the quarterback option. He is stoned at the 3-yard line, but the clock will stop as they move the chains. And with 30 seconds left, Granado coming over by the sidelines to see if he can get one more play called here. But I think Brett Badek and the Knights are willing to call it a night.
We'll see.
So Marion has decided to put the ball in the pocket, and they're going to take the loss here as Mishawaka prevails over Marion tonight in this Princess City rivalry by the count of 43-16. The 10th-ranked Cavemen in Class 5A looking impressive against the 4th-ranked team in Class 3A. Stick around. We've got a lot to cover on our Mary's Match Be the Match postgame show that comes your way next on this edition of the 46 Game of the Week.
Three, two, one. Standing by with our player of the game, Justin Fisher. First off, very hot out here, very physical game. Just talk about your team tonight.
I'm just so incredibly proud of our guys. I mean, we knew we were strong on defense. We weren't sure about offense so much, but the best thing about this is a great team win. I mean, defense holding the 2 touchdowns, and then we put up 6 on our own, that's amazing. All we could ask for.
You know, last year you guys come in here, put up 43 tonight, but yet your defense, like you talked about, really stepped up.
That was the big difference. The defense, I mean, they made some big plays when they had to, and we just got ballers on that side of the ball, and they just make plays when they got to.
Talk about the adjustments you guys made this offseason as a team, and you're really coming together in the leadership that you seniors have shown.
I mean, we've just worked together. I mean, we've become a team ever since late November after Thanksgiving break. We've been working together, and we've just been driving home that we need to run the ball and we play harder. So.
Hey, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
Back to you guys.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV-46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
Back at a Tulski Field in Mishawaka, where the Mishawaka Cavemen walked off the field with bragging rights tonight. A happy group of Cavemen fans over there as they prevail over arch rival Marion by a count of 43-16. Chuck and Bob high above the fray, and partner couldn't be more impressed with Keith Kinder's team tonight because he was worried about conditioning. He was worried about the offensive line. He was worried about how they would keep Greg Atkinson in check, and they hit all the boxes.
They really did, and tell you what, we have our player of the game coming up here in just a second, but everybody in that Mishawaka defense needs a star on their helmet. They played a terrific game, good team game, never got beat deep, which was one of the things he was talking about during the week. And boy, they pounded some lumps on that Marion offensive line during the course of the game. And as I said, the offense for Mishawaka averaged about 5 yards a carry on first down. That was terrific.
So a good team effort all along, but when a guy scores 3 touchdowns in a game and leads his team in rushing, he tends to be your player of the game. That's the case for the Cavemen tonight. Justin Fisher is standing by with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Justin Fisher. First off, very hot out here, very physical game. Just talk about your team tonight.
I'm just so incredibly proud of our guys. I mean, we knew we were strong on defense. We weren't sure about offense so much, but the best thing about this is a great team win. I mean, defense holding the 2 touchdowns, and then we put up 6 on our own. That's amazing. All we could ask for.
You know, last year you guys come in here, put up 43 tonight, but yet your defense, like you talked about, really stepped up.
That was a big difference. The defense, I mean, they made some big plays when they had to, and we just got ballers on that side of the ball, and they just make plays when they got to.
Talk about the adjustments you guys made this offseason as a team, and you're really coming together in the leadership that you seniors have shown.
I mean, we've just worked together. I mean, we've become a team ever since late November after Thanksgiving break. We've been working together, and we've just been driving home that we need to run the ball and we play harder. So.
Hey, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
Back to you guys.
Now, by no means should that little girl think that it's going to be easy for Mishawaka next week, because the Elkhart Lions, who beat Concord tonight by a count of 12-7, come calling at Steele Stadium, and Josh Shattuck's team has already shown it's got a pretty good defense. Marion turns around. They got time to get this season back on track and take on Culver Academy next week.
No question. They certainly underlined some things that they need to get better at, which is what you want in that first game. And you think about next week, we're going to be up at Lakeshore on Thursday, but the game between Jimtown and Concord is going to feature 2 teams that got beat tonight, and yet they're 2 teams with quality performers. It's going to be interesting to see how those teams rebound.
Boy, if you're looking for a turning point in tonight's game, it was provided by special teams. Now, Mishawaka had a couple of special team snafus that Marion exploited early in the first half, but with the game tied at 16, Marion decided to kick it deep, about the only time somebody did kick it deep tonight. And Mishawaka's Chaz Hardy was able to take advantage. They worked on middle return all day Tuesday. Here was middle return. They executed beautifully. Hardy took it down to the 45. Caveman cashed it in from then on the short field. And Mishawaka never trailed in this football game, and they were never even tied after that as they went on to this very impressive 43-16 win.
Yeah, first drive of the second half from Marion, they really needed to get on the board. They needed to get points. It didn't happen. And again, credit Mishawaka's defense. And boy, what a way to start our season. A couple of really good programs.
Good to be back with you and with Bo, and good to be back with all of you as well. Looking forward to a double dip next week, but our thanks to our TV-46 crew. Dean Korsbo just about came with building like you did. Tony Beltran, I almost didn't recognize him, half the man he used to be. And our usual cast of characters that bring so much energy and passion to our work each and every Friday night. A reminder, double dip next week. We're in Michigan Thursday night for the live stream, Friday 4 o'clock. Saturday morning at 11:30, Portage Central taking on Lakeshore, the debut of Danny Thompson as the Lancer coach. And then next Friday night, 11 p.m. and Saturday morning at 9, the battle for the Cable Line Cup as Jimtown goes to Concord for the 61st renewal of that rivalry. Now for my partners, the Hall of Famers Bob Nickel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final. Mishawaka 43, Marion 16. So long from the Princess City.